Warning: mature content. The following stream contains content that may not be suitable for all audiences, including mature themes, strong language, and potentially sensitive material. Viewer discretion is advised.
Oh la la! Oh, well. King in the castle, king in the castle. Have a chair, I have a chair. Oh, go do this. King in the castle.
He's not a dopey dumb bitch. He gets laid.
Terry.
The court jester. The court DJ. It's time to dive into the case.
I don't know why you gotta do it in front of the kid with the effing. All you gotta do is say
I'm finished with this guy.
You didn't know? Your ass better call somebody!
What is up, everybody?
Good morning, Vietnam!
Oh, there's Bobby Didge. Let me get
Good morning. Good morning.
I almost overslept. My alarm didn't go off, man.
Oh,
Some
no.
bullshit. So, Hat City. Clutch. That's a good thing about being a dude. We can just throw a hat on.
So easy. Ready to go.
Sneak right by. How you?
Good. Ready to go, folks. We're for day 2 of Little Woo Day.
Little woo.
And Bob will be monitoring the Robert Tellis case, which they started voir dire, and they are selecting jurors. And Bob, I was looking at the news clip, and it looks like we're going to have a returning attorney that we have seen before. I believe it's the same prosecutor that handled Tommy Randolph, because it's Vegas. He was Vegas.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure it's the same. In the news clip, it showed her, so I don't know. I assume she's handling the case. So looks like
that Randolph, what a scumbag! Jesus,
the worst.
I mean, like in the list of scumbags, that guy was like Adam Montgomery's probably like, I've just never wanted to actually like drive somewhere and like murder somebody myself. Like that, like Adam Montgomery was that guy. Like I just couldn't look at his face. Oh shit!
Prompt,
not
Bob.
play, bro.
She does not play. She's got her Stop and Shop bag.
Man, knock it out of the park.
Have us start before the jury in case there's anything that anybody needs to deal with. Outside the presence of the jury, a lot of times during a trial, that's what happens is somebody raises an issue and I don't want the jury waiting. I'd rather us just get here a few minutes early. So is there anything today that we need to deal with or anybody needs to put on the record?
Just a motion for a mistrial, and then we can move on.
Good.
We all have one.
Okay, well, then y'all can just, I'm going to get signed in and make sure that my tech issues from yesterday are fixed. And
Camera guy seems a little jittery this morning there,
He
J-Bo.
does. He does.
Little
this
jittery.
question, I know you probably don't have that much of an idea how long Mr. Copeland's testimony is going to be, but what's your best estimate?
Ooh.
Your Honor, the state would like, good morning, the state would like to complete Mr. Copeland by Friday.
By Friday.
Maybe it'll be that the whole week.
Wow.
If a good guess, it will be by Friday.
All right.
Wow.
Well, we can check back in on that later in the week, but make sure that in the event things for some reason start to move faster, you've got your next witness lined up and ready to go.
Yes.
Little Rod's got his head down, taking a little snoozle.
Little Rod.
I don't
Little
blame him.
Rod. Yeah, I mean, dude, till Friday. Whoa.
I would
That
love to.
is all the little woo we can handle.
So yeah, Bob, I shared a clip, and unfortunately, I can't share the clip I used on YouTube and Twitter because I used the White Stripes song. But for folks who don't know, little Woo Day had struck a little friendship with the court reporter in Judge Glanville's court because he was testifying and trying to say like I lie about everything, and for some reason he mentioned the court reporter, her Chuck Taylors. He's like, yeah, I said about her Chuck Taylors, if they're white or whatever. Anyway, so he makes a comment about that. And the court reporter, apparently I found out later from another journalist that said that this court reporter has a extensive collection of Chuck Taylors, so much so she had to get a new closet in her house for a Chuck Taylor. So anyway, yeah, she's got so little Woody and her strike up a friendship during the time, because they're sitting next to each other the entire time. Obviously, they're like, and she was very nice to him. So yesterday she comes. Obviously, she's no longer the court reporter because that was Judge Glanville's. She comes, and you remember when he came in with the Powerade? She gave him the Powerade. She gave him snacks. She gave him like energy bars and with a little note that says, for when you're yawning, to keep you from yawning or something like that. And he posted it all on his Instagram.
I saw the pic.
And it was
I did
so
not
wholesome.
know the backstory.
It was so
That's
wholesome.
Amazing. That is so sweet.
I could share the picture. I can't. I put it to the tune of "We Are Going to Be Friends" by the White Stripes because he posted a couple of short clips. So unfortunately, I can't share that. But actually, I guess I could share it.
I mean, you could have gone with that phenomenal song, which I am a huge White Stripes fan, or you could have gone with the Courtship of Eddie's Father theme song too.
What's
People,
that?
let me tell you about my best friend. Diddle-a-dee. I forget all the lyrics, but you know the tune.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's a classic.
Hopefully that's all right. So here we go. I don't have the audio on. Jeez.
I take it back. That was a good music choice.
So here we go.
I love that song.
I'm gonna play it on mute. Watch this.
Oh, God damn it! I want to hear the song, Jay.
I know. Hopefully that 2 seconds that I played it didn't. So here she is giving him.
Aww. Energy. She's the sweetest. Are they falling in love right now?
Perhaps. I think it's more of a friendship.
Mayhaps they are.
So there you go. And he posted. Whoa! Stop it, Jay. And he put on his. Let me see. He put the caption was on his thing. She care. Like he was like. I think he was.
Oh touched. Yeah, I saw that.
He was touched that she like. And there it is. And there's with her Chuck Taylors. She care. And yeah. So there it is. That. It's so cool. Such a cool thing.
I feel like they might be falling in love. That's what I feel like. So but what do I know? What do I know, Jay? I am no student of the human condition, or am I? So yeah, I like just. It sounds like Dizzy sent me a text bright and early. They are not starting jury selection there until 10:30. Like, I don't think that thing's gonna start today. So. I'm probably in for the long haul here.
All right, awesome.
We'll keep an eye on it. If it does, we'll jump over there. I'll probably, if it starts, I'm skipping the initial jury instructions because those are boring as hell. So
that's what I'm talking about.
I know where you're at.
Joanne just sent a $20 Venmo. I don't recall if I sent a Venmo yesterday. I think you did, Joanne. Just in case I didn't, here's $20 for Woo Day. Thank you so much, Joanne. You're so kind.
Woo Day. Can you turn it off so Allie can walk by? She's buck naked.
Yep.
Kidding.
Gotcha.
She's not buck naked.
They just saw me come out of it.
Oh, they saw her come out of the bathroom, so they know she wasn't buck naked.
All right, can I put it back on, or is she going?
Yes, you may. She's out. She's escaped.
So welcome everyone. Thanks for being here. If you guys
Good
missed
morning, beautiful humans. Good
yes,
morning.
good morning. My episode, well, I posted it on my community page, but if you want to check out my episode with
I fell asleep listening.
oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, it was great.
Thank
Did a
you.
great job. It's so funny. What the hell was I listening? Like what? I must have been listening to you and Allie or something, or like you were talking about doing the. You were talking about doing the episode, and you were talking about, oh, it was my second time I've been on a podcast. Where were you saying that? I was listening to it
on the stream yesterday.
I don't think like I must have been off. Like you must have been on
Yeah,
Allie
yeah, I think so.
or maybe I was making the coffee or whatever. So you were like, oh, and I remember the first time I was on, I said like 2 million times. And it's so funny. The first time I ever did a collaboration with the girls from Love Murder podcast, who are phenomenal, like just awesome, awesome women. And like I listened to it afterwards and like I did the exact same thing. Like I couldn't believe, like I think it was probably just me. I was curious as people listening to it, or is it like in tune with the fact that I said like constantly? I was like, see, I'm doing it now. I asked her, I'm like, Jesse, is there any way you can cut out like 700 of those likes that I said? She's like, people won't even notice. I'm like, oh, I don't know. There was a lot of them. So yeah, you did well. You did well. You definitely cut down on your like. It's like saying
it was very much like a unconscious like safety
exactly.
thing. I don't know whatever the.
It's like it's a time pause. It's like that when instead of having just a quiet moment, like we say or like, you do have to consciously work on that.
Yeah, I remember listening to this time I didn't, but that first one I was on, it was with Todd and Rick Holmes and Jessica Knoll, and I was like, holy shit! I said it so much, and but I will say this: I played it and I with a bunch of people, and I was like,
they don't notice it.
I said, does anyone notice? Something that really bothered me, and until like maybe 40 minutes into like however long it was, someone said something, but no one picked up on like what I was like. I didn't say what it was. I wanted to see if anyone could tell. So maybe don't. Maybe. Thank you, Joanne. Gifted a membership. By the way, Little Woo Day and Jacqueline gets it. Thank you so much, Joanne. You and Mr. Jedi are the best. Little Woo Day does not have a suit on today, folks. If you had that, he was gonna have a suit on for day 2 of his testimony. Not today.
All right, hold on. He doesn't have his suit on?
No, it looks like he almost has like a Axl Rose, Letterman jacket type deal. You'll see.
I like that. What's Jeffrey wearing today? What's that sweat?
I thought it said Spider, but I couldn't see. If I had to guess, if Babe is watching, she's probably more interested in Shannon Stillwell's sweater back there because that looks interesting.
Mag P, our wonderful always giver / mod / beautiful human, just sent me a $25 Venmo. Thank you so much.
Mag P
says, AKA Little Mag. Lil Mag. Hey, here's some dollars. Holla. So thank you so much for that $25 holla.
Babe, what'd you say about the sweater? That's his brand.
Oh yeah, Liam 07 said that. Liam 07 beat you, Shans. Like we've got some competition.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope y'all had a restful evening last night. One thing I meant to tell y'all yesterday, but I'll tell y'all this morning. If there's ever a time that y'all feel like you need to stand up and stretch or just move around while we're in the testimony, feel free to do that. It shouldn't be distracting to anybody. And believe me, I know that sitting all day long can kind of get uncomfortable sometimes, so just feel free to do that if y'all need to. All right, Ms. Hilton, you can go ahead with your examination.
If you're coming in late, if you're a late arriver, the prosecutor has estimated that Little Woo's testimony will last until Friday. So get comfy. Get snuggled in, get your blanket pulled up, get your popcorn, and we're in for the long haul, kids.
Well, and that's just direct, folks. And then we have like 8 attorneys to cross him.
Yeah. Wow.
And Meg P just sent me $25. Said, Jay, love you and Shannon. She's the best. We love you, Meg. Thank you.
Yesterday when we left off, you were speaking about this infinity that was rented by Thug that you gave to Threat, I guess the day before Donovan Thomas was murdered. Is that correct? Yesterday when we left off,
Excuse me, I was
were
sleeping
you
with my
speaking
eyes
about
open.
the infinity that was rented by Thug that you gave to Threat the day before Donovan Thomas was murdered?
I don't recall.
Okay. Do you recall yesterday talking about giving an infinity to Threat?
Oh, come! You can't pull that shit.
Do you need me to repeat the question?
Yeah.
Okay. Yesterday, do you recall testifying about giving the infinity to Threat?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
All right. And you said that you gave Threat that infinity after you and Little D from Cleveland Avenue spun out that infinity on the highway. Is that correct?
I don't recall.
You don't recall what you said yesterday?
I didn't tell you that yesterday. Actually, I gave Threat the car yesterday.
Okay. Did you also talk about you spinning out the car on the highway yesterday as well?
I don't recall.
And when you gave Threat the car, that was at the studio off of Northside Drive?
I ain't for sure which one it was, but
Would this be the studio that's 675 Metropolitan Parkway?
Metropolitan?
Yes.
No.
Is this the studio that...
I don't recall which studio it was.
If you saw a picture, would you recognize it?
Recognize what?
The studio.
No.
Start now.
I mean,
When you drop the car off,
he always
to the
starts
studio,
off really on point with his I
do
don't
you know if
recall.
Doug was inside the
And then they
studio?
drag. He eventually gets
I
fed
didn't
off.
go in.
They fade towards the end.
But do you know if he was there or not, although you did not go in?
I didn't allow it.
Do you know if he was there?
I don't know.
Back in 2015, how often would you go to the studio?
Not much.
And when you say not much, what does that mean?
I like to be in the streets.
Okay. So how often would you go to the studio?
I just said I don't know.
Okay. Would it be once a week, once a month, every couple of months?
I don't recall.
Now, you said that you gave Threat you said you gave Threat the Infinity, and you don't know what happened next. Is that correct?
I said I gave Threat the car,
Okay.
and I left.
Do you know if Threat gave the car back to Thug?
I don't recall. I don't know.
This was the car that Thug rented, correct?
I don't recall.
Yesterday, did you testify this was the car that Thug rented?
Shit, I guess I don't know. Like,
You don't know if Thug rented the car or not?
yesterday you asked me, did I go to a rental car place with him?
Yes. And what was your answer?
What did I tell you?
You tell me.
I don't recall.
Okay.
Why is she asking him the same shit again?
That's a good question because she probably didn't get an answer the first time, or if she did, he's not going
Now,
to tell her what it was.
He was
once
pretty
you gave
clear
Threat
about
the
that.
vehicle and you left. When did you find out about Nut being killed?
I don't recall.
I think that Letterman jacket's fire.
Did
I like it
anyone
too.
tell you that Threat killed Nut?
Didn't
Babe's posting about it. She just told me.
Oh, good. Jay, that's what I want
Why
for.
did you bring up that you gave the Infinity to Threat? Why did you tell me that yesterday?
because I did.
Okay. And why did you tell me that?
Because I did.
Why did I tell you that?
Yeah, why was yesterday the first time that you ever mentioned giving threat the infinity?
Because y'all sitting here like y'all know what y'all talking about when y'all don't.
Okay. So why didn't you tell the police that back in 2015?
Because I ain't trying to go to jail.
Why would you go to jail for giving someone a car?
Same way y'all take me to jail for everything else.
Okay. But is there a crime to give someone a car? Why did you think you would get in trouble for giving someone a car?
I don't recall.
Were you trying to insinuate because you gave Threat the car that Threat must have had something to do with Nuts' murder?
Huh?
In telling me yesterday that you gave the infinity to Threat, were you trying to infer that Threat must have had something to do with Nuts' murder?
I don't know what Threat did.
Okay. So why did you tell me about giving Threat the infinity?
Because you put me up here to tell the truth.
Okay. Is there some truth? Did Threat kill Nut?
I don't know. I don't recall. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Do you have an answer?
I don't know what Threat did.
Okay. Back in 2015, did you tell the police that Threat killed Nut?
No.
Okay. Did you tell police that other individuals killed Nut?
I'm going to protect Threat.
Okay. But you didn't protect the other people that you talked about?
Me and Threat been friends since 2001.
Okay. Are you closer to Shannon than you are to Threat?
I'm closer to Threat than I am any person in the street.
Okay. But when you were talking about who you were close with, you never mentioned Threat to the police back in 2015. Is that correct?
That's my partner in crime.
Okay. But in 2015, when they asked you who are you closest to, you never mentioned Threat, correct?
Right? Because I know the police trying to get me.
Okay. But you talked about being very close to Little D, correct?
Because the D is a pretty boy.
You talked about being very close to Shannon, correct?
Because Shannon is a pretty boy too.
Okay. But all the pictures, do you remember the pictures that we showed you back in June?
Right?
They only had you, Shannon, and Little D primarily, correct?
This one, I'm not on that other type of time.
Okay. Do you have a lot of pictures with Threat?
Yes.
Okay. Back in 2015.
We have a lot of pictures together.
Why would you tell on Shannon and not on Threat when you're talking about the murder of Donovan Thomas?
Because telling is being honest. Lying is lying. I'm going to protect. Threat.
Why would you make up anything on Shannon when you said to the police,
those
are your friends, even though they're pretty boys, those are your friends. So why would you make it up, Shannon, and not tell the police about Threat?
Because the thing is, if a person ain't do it, they ain't do it. So no matter what I tell the police, they didn't do it. So I ain't got to be like, okay, I'm telling the truth by saying they did it. Okay, they didn't do it, so the police can't lock them up for something they didn't do. But if I say Threat did it and Threat actually did it, then it's a different story.
Are you telling us that Threat did it?
I ain't said Threat did nothing.
Okay. So did Threat kill Donovan?
I don't know.
Are you now bringing anything about Threat because he's deceased and now can't come in here and defend himself with whatever it is that you're saying?
I'm up here to tell the truth. You going back into the past and I done told you 1.5 million times that I don't lie.
1.5 million, J-Bo. 1.5 million.
That is an exact number. 1.5 million. Welcome, B. May. Thank you so much.
It's like being able to tell 15 lies in 1 second.
Yes, that was also exact.
That's all I recall.
And you gave him the car at the studio. And once you gave him the car, what did you do?
I don't recall.
Did you go home to Deshaun's house?
I don't recall.
So how is that you recall giving threat the car, but you can't remember anything else that day?
I probably geeked up.
Geeked up when, now or then?
I don't do drugs now.
Okay. So how is it today? You can remember that you gave threat the car, but you can't remember anything else you did back in January 2015.
I don't recall.
You don't recall what?
Nothing.
Okay, so you don't recall that threat that you gave the car the threat?
That's what you want me to say?
I want you to answer truthfully, Mr. Copeland.
I think I just said I don't recall.
Now, yesterday you testified that Gaither and the police were out to get you. Is that fair? That you said that yesterday?
You told me yourself that they did me wrong.
I asked you a specific question.
Yes.
Okay. Isn't it true that in 2015 you would call Gaither if something happened in the streets?
Because I'm playing on her.
Okay. But isn't it true that in the January interview that you met with Gaither and Dennis, you called her to let her know that they were shooting at you?
Because I ain't no telling what I did back to them.
Okay. And it was after you called her that you went to the studio.
I don't recall calling no Gaither telling her anything. I don't recall.
In the interview, didn't she tell you, I waited up here for you because you called me?
I don't recall.
And that she was actually getting ready to get off of work, but since you called her, she waited for you.
I don't recall.
All right. Isn't it true that in the February interview, after you were shot at and your daughter and your child's mother was shot at, when they told you you needed to give the gun to someone, you said, I'm going to call Gaither and I'm going to give it to Gaither?
I don't recall.
Isn't it also true in May of 2015, when you were originally detained at the Dunbar Center with the gun, that they took you over to Turner Field because you asked to speak to Gaither?
I don't recall.
No. And that Gaither met you at Turner Field, correct?
Listen, that's a lie.
She didn't meet you at Turner Field?
You got the police report. The police that got me said that every time they get me, they got to notify the gang unit to come get me.
Did you?
When they touch me.
So you did not call and ask for them to speak to Gaither?
No.
Okay. And did you meet with Gaither at Turner Field?
No, I was in the back of the police car in handcuffs.
Did Gaither meet you at Turner Field while you were back in the car in handcuffs?
I don't recall.
And matter of fact, that day, did you get released?
And, huh?
From Turner Field, did you get released?
Yeah, I guess.
Did you go to jail the day that you met Gaither at Turner Field? Did you go to jail that day?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Okay. You didn't get arrested for that gun at the Dunbar Center until June of 2015, correct?
I guess.
Okay. And isn't it true that even after you got arrested in June of 2015, that once you were in jail, you called Gaither multiple times to speak to her from jail?
I don't recall calling her from jail.
You don't recall having Deshaun call Gaither multiple times for you?
I don't recall.
All right. He's starting to get upset.
And then she want Gaither to come and meet with you at the jail so you can give her more information?
Speak on the facts. If she want that gun and she keep asking me for a gun and I ain't giving her the gun, what make you think I'm getting her truthful information? If I trust her so much and I always call her, why I won't get her the gun? It's self-explanatory.
Didn't you tell her you didn't give her the gun because Shannon had taken the gun to Miami? Or taken the gun while he was on tour with Doug?
No. I don't know what I don't told her, but I'm not going to give her no evidence on me.
Okay. And wasn't Deshawn actually frustrated with you because you wanted to call Gaither so much, and she didn't want you to call and speak to Gaither.
Because Deshawn knew what I was doing.
I want to go back to the February 20th interview. Now, I just asked you about Detective Gaither and speaking with her. Isn't it true that in the February 20th interview, you told Detective, I had came down here and talked to Officer Gaither, and somehow word hit the street. I told Gaither a lot of stuff, but it did not get out. But just this time, it hit the streets. Now people looking at me sideways. Do you recall telling the detectives that?
I don't recall nothing I told. I don't recall what I don't told the detectives. I tell them anything that what they'll go for, what I think I can convince them to go for.
And did you also tell the detectives the detectives told you that you needed to actually keep in touch with Gaither and lay very low. And you told them, I'll keep in touch with her and I'm going to give her the gun.
Did I give her the gun?
I didn't ask you that. I asked you, what did you tell the police?
I don't recall what I told them, but I would have told them anything to get them out my face.
Now, back in 2015, did people believe that you were the reason that you were a bad influence?
Can you repeat that question?
Sure. Back in 2015, did you tell police that you were the reason that Thug's name kept coming up?
I'll allow that. That's okay. Thought that might be a different question, but you can ask that question.
Thank you. In the February interview, did you tell the police that you were the reason that Thug's name was getting involved in all of this beef and drama with YFN and If Gang?
I don't recall nothing I told the police.
Okay. Did you say to the police, I heard someone say, I'm the reason. They said that I pulled Thug into this. I'm the reason they bring Thug name up. Thug having something to do with it because of me. Folks going around saying I'm trying to mess up his career. How the hell am I messing up his career? I had nothing to do with it. I didn't. I don't know what the hell is going on. Sorry. I had nothing to do with this. I didn't. I don't know what the hell is going on.
I would tell the police anything to get them out my face.
Okay. Now, after this February interview, were you then arrested later on that day on a probation violation?
Y'all locked me up so many times. I don't keep record of this stuff.
Okay. Going back to the pictures from yesterday.
As I just shared in there's the link for the Telus live stream that Bob has. So make sure you bookmark that for later. He will be covering the Nevada versus Robert Telus, which is going to be an interesting one for sure.
Charlie 1, February
You're muted,
20th,
Bob.
2015.
How I supposed to know which one of them is it?
Yeah, it's a crazy case. I don't think it's going to start today, though.
Do you see that
They're still
on the
picking the
paper?
jury.
Okay.
Do you see the date that's on the top?
Friday.
What's the day?
Friday.
What's the
All right,
date?
we already established yesterday it was February 20th, so
Yeah.
just ask the question.
Judge is getting
Looking
upset.
at both of those, is one you're in the jumpsuit and one you are not in the jumpsuit.
Right.
Okay. And is one on the February 20th and the other one on February 21st?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay. So after you left your interview on February 20th, were you arrested on a probation violation?
Huh?
After you left the interview on February 20th, were you arrested on a probation violation? The next day, are you in
Oh,
blue
yeah.
jumpsuit?
You said when I left,
Okay. Do you remember when you were arrested?
the papers got the next day. I don't know if it's the same day or the next day.
Okay. But when you came back, you spoke to Detective Gaither on the second time on February 21st, correct?
This what it looked like in the picture.
All right. And during that interview, she was trying to get you to tell them what happened regarding the shooting of your child and the shooting at you, your child, and your child's mother, correct?
I recall.
Big yawn.
And during that interview, you actually begin the interview not talking about the shooting, but talking about what was happening between If Gang and you, because people thought you killed Nut, correct?
I don't recall what I told the investigators. I was just saying whatever come out of the top of my dome to get them out for me.
And during that interview, did you then again reiterate to Detective Gaither that you did not kill Nut and you didn't have anything to do with it, correct?
I don't recall what I told no investigator.
And you also began to tell Detective Gaither again what occurred the night that Nut was murdered, once you learned that Nut was murdered, correct?
I don't recall nothing I told the investigators.
Okay. You also told Detective Gaither in this interview that you learned from Little D that Nut got killed.
That's what I told the police.
Is that what you told Detective Gaither?
I don't recall nothing I told the investigators. If you call me here to tell the truth, you got to stop going back into the past.
Okay.
Oh boy.
And you also told her about being at Carver home at your baby mom's house that earlier in the day that Nut got killed, correct?
I don't recall nothing I told. Who you said I said this to?
Detective Gaither.
I don't recall nothing I said to Gaither.
And matter of fact, you told her that you came down on your own that morning to let the police know that you had nothing to do with Nut's murder, correct?
I don't recall nothing I told the investigators.
Now, did you also talk to Detective Gaither about your fear of being labeled a snitch?
I don't recall.
When she asked you to tell her about who shot at you and your child's mother, you told her, I try my best, man, to just because if I help you tell you anything and make it even worse. And she asked, what makes it worse? Now I'm a snitch. Now this and that.
I don't recall.
Oh,
And she asked you, you worried about snitching?
his IDR
And you
is
said, I
on
just wanted to
point.
get out of
this
jail.
morning,
and
man.
stay
Oh man,
out the way.
I wanted to do an idea
recall.
counter and I forgot to set it up. Tomorrow, remind me, guys. I'll try to set up a counter.
I mean, it's in the thousands already. Huh?
Now, you also talked to Detective Gaither in the same interview about trivia as well, correct?
I don't recall.
And you told Detective Gaither that trivia provides a lot of information about Kel.
Isn't
to
trivia
move-
the stuff you put in your
I don't
coffee?
recall.
That's a
Stevia, Jay.
And then that's where you all get a lot of your information regarding If Gang, correct?
I don't recall.
And that's because Trivia was dating Shell Kel and Moontoon, correct?
Morning, Kitty
I
C.
don't know who she date.
Kitty
Did
C
you
is
tell
like our
Detective
best
Gaither
hype
that
person on
Tree
Twitter.
was dating both
Yes, she
Moulton
is.
and Shell
She
Count?
is.
I don't recall nothing that I made
So
up to the
appreciate that,
police.
Kitty.
Thank you, Kristen.
No, Stevia is actually fire. Truvia is it's a brand. That's a brand of stevia. So I stand corrected.
Now, we just talked about you calling Gaither the night
Comes from a fruit.
that they were shooting at you on the highway.
Yes.
Do you
Doesn't
recall
have that
yourself
chemical
today calling
taste.
Gaither the night that you
I like the
that
chemical
they
taste.
shot
Give me
at
all of
you?
them. Give me the microplastics.
No,
Give
I
me
don't
all
recall.
the aspartame. I like the taste of cancer. It's yummy. Yeah, monk fruit's pretty
Now,
good
do you
too.
recall Detective Gaither in this interview asking you who shot at you, your child, and your child's mother,
I don't recall.
and that you told her that the person looks like you think it was Tay?
I don't recall.
Sleep like a champion, kangaroo. The dulcet tones of I don't
Do
recall
you also recall telling Detective
drifting you into
Gaither
a
in this
beautiful
interview,
sleep.
which is now February 21st of 2015,
The occasional, huh?
that after they shot at you on the highway, that people from the opposite gang posted it on Instagram? So people from If Gang posted it on Instagram? I don't recall.
See?
Rochelle, not a chance in hell, in my opinion, to get a guilty after if
No
this
way.
even makes
Did
it.
you also tell Detective
Which
Gaither
I think is
you
even
had concerns
more
that
unlikely.
if people learned that you were talking to police,
All right,
and
who
it gets out,
yawned
it was going to make
after
this stuff get worse?
Lil Woo yawned? Be truthful. I almost did. I fought it.
You're staring. Are you going to respond?
I don't recall.
Okay. In this February interview, did you tell detectives that you knew it was Tay because you knew what he looked like and that you used to play ball with him at Carver?
My right hand to God. Tay never shot me and my child and my baby mom.
I asked you, did you tell detectives?
I don't recall.
That's honestly, I said this yesterday. It's probably my favorite is when he clearly recalls something, gives an answer, then the next question he doesn't like, and then he doesn't recall. I just
It's the best.
And
It's the best.
You had concerns
also when he has to, just like he did there, he has to qualify that this time his right hand to God, he's telling the truth. Like all the other time, no, but my right hand
This
to God.
time, I swear to God.
This time I brought.
you had brought him to your house before.
Listen, man, that Hanukkah gift you're going to get me is going to run $3K. Just
Yeah,
your wife,
did Shannon
your
post?
wife
Yeah,
posted.
$3K for that jacket if you guys want it.
So
$3K.
y'all better
I
start
gotta
sending Dave Venmos. Bob's Lil Woo Letterman jacket
As a
fun.
matter of fact, didn't you send Detective Gaither a picture of Tay from Instagram telling her that this is the person who you believe shot at you?
I don't recall.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Wolfie Muse.
As a matter of fact, when you were speaking with her, she said to you, you can start out by who is it? You sent me this picture. Which one is it? And you responded, it's the guy standing by in the brown.
Say that again.
When she asked you if it was the Instagram picture that you sent to her, when you were identifying Tay, she asked you, you can start out by who is it? You sent me this picture. Which one is it? And your response was, it's the guy standing by in the brown.
I don't recall.
He's adding yawns today. That's his
Yeah.
third. That's his third yawn.
He's up in the game. He's like, not only do I not remember, now I'm bored as fuck.
Now I'm
thing.
tired of this
Relates
shit.
to being the snitch. Did you also tell Detective Gaither that you were concerned being labeled a snitch because other individuals were being tortured because they were considered being a rat.
You done?
Torture.
Yes, the question is finished.
Being a snitch is someone who telling the police the truth.
Were you concerned being labeled a snitch because you were telling the truth to detectives back in January 2015?
I done did so much stuff in my life. Being labeled a snitch, I don't recall.
Okay. Specifically, you told her, I see how boy is living. And she asked you, how's he living? And you said, hell, he gets tortured everywhere he go. He a fucking rat, this and that. And I turn around, I'm in the same shoes he is. I don't know if he did whatever he had going on. I have not done none of this. It's just like, only reason I know this much information is because I be around so many people. I get the word.
It's cap.
Okay.
It's cap. Folks who don't know, that means.
I don't recall.
Well, he didn't just qualify, but I'll qualify. That's cap means someone's lying. They're faking it. That's cap. It's a lie.
Earlier, you said that the person that you be with the most is Threat back in 2015, correct?
No, I say this is my best friend.
That's your best friend. In this interview in February of 2020, when you were asked, who were you around? Isn't it true that you said, there's only two people I fuck with, Shannon and Little D. If I'm not with Shannon, me and Little D, we together all the time.
I wasn't going to tie myself in with Threat.
Why? At this point in time, why?
I don't recall.
Okay. And you said, matter of fact, yeah, we together all the time. The only two I've been with.
I don't recall.
What does this have to do with Thug? Like,
Great
what
question.
does it have to do with Thug? I mean, essentially what he did yesterday is he put the rental and the drive-by or however Nut was killed on a dead guy. You know, I mean, that's what he did yesterday.
Exactly.
And short of them having
Now,
definitive proof of Jeffrey ordering a hit, like, I don't see how this is relevant. I really don't.
saying that
Hey, what's up,
you
Steve?
were lying to the detectives. When they asked you for the gun, did you tell Detective Gaither, listen, Gaither, I tell you, I'm not going to lie, man. I'm going to get you the gun. He didn't want to give me the gun. This and that. I told the detectives, give me a couple of days, and I want to get the gun for you. And isn't it true? Is that what you, excuse me, do you recall telling Detective Gaither that?
I don't recall telling her that. I don't know what I tell Gaither anything, but one thing I ain't going to do, I ain't going to be no fool.
Okay.
I'm not giving myself up.
And isn't it true that in June, you finally gave Detective Gaither the reason why you could not give her the gun?
Because she caught me again, right? I don't recall what I don't say in no interview, but I'm not stupid to get a police no gun.
No, Betsy, I don't think I'm coming back for
Especially
the.
Gaither.
I think that hearing on Delphi is the 23rd. It's a status. Like, I know people think that he's pleading out and all kinds of other bullshit. That's not happening. It's status calls are literally where the judge is finding out where the lawyers are in terms of discovery, being turned over, if there's any issues. Like, it's gonna be like a 10-minute thing. It's not worth driving 6 hours total.
Also tell Detective Gaither again about this meeting with a man named Mo, and he gave you 97 days to live. Did you tell Detective Gaither about this?
97.
I don't recall.
It's a specific number.
It's a very specific number. Not 96. Not 98.
Mo said I have 97 days to live.
97,
If I ain't
mofo.
dead in 97 days, they gonna shoot a Mechanicsville until they kill me. the word come back to me. Moonsoon seen somebody downtown. They were if gang. He's like, damn, what up with y'all? What y'all got going on? Niggas like, it was a misunderstanding, bro. They made it seem like we come to get everybody. We beefing with the whole if gang. Nah, it's just Kel and everybody up under Kel, and they all beefing with me.
But I would post up in the middle of my neighborhood every day.
Okay. Were you all beefing with the whole if gang?
I don't recall.
And when you say we were beefing with the whole if gang, were you talking about YSL?
I'm from Canterville.
See, that's actually a super legit answer. Like, he keeps saying that because
now, during that interview,
that's how gangs form out of neighborhoods.
First, do you recall another detective coming to speak with you about an unrelated issue?
I don't know.
Okay. Do you
Seven's asking you to boost the audio. I can hear it fine.
Yeah, I was wondering if anyone else. Because I did try a different feed today because there was issues yesterday with the. So if anyone else is having an issue, let me know.
To you about being a part of YSL, correct?
I don't recall. What I talked to with any of these police is about, I just know that I was trying to get them off of me. And I'm finna make up whatever, if they bring up whatever topic, I'm finna make up something to get them off of me. I'm a victim in every situation. I'm an innocent in everything I do.
Do you recall her asking you?
It's Georgia.
You was Billy Blood, and your response was, I was, but. And she didn't ask you, what are you now? And your response is, that's the point. They got mad because I didn't go back with Inglewood because I hang with Thug and I'm YSL.
Oh my God, Steve's got shingles in his eye.
Jeez, Steve, hope you feel better soon, man.
What the fuck? Sorry about that, dude. That seems horrible.
All right, other people are saying that they're let me see if all right, so I'll try to get back to the part where we are. Let's see.
For me, it sounded great, but
I'm talking to the
Jay, pull me off for a second.
What are you now?
Coffee.
Gotcha.
And your response is, that's the point. They got mad because I didn't go back with Inglewood because I hang with Thug and I'm YSL.
I don't recall saying that. I said if we all
a little D as well, correct? And then you also continue to say that the Inglewood family people were also mad at Little D because he used to be Inglewood. And when he got strike that. You also continue to say that Inglewood was mad at Little D as well, correct?
I don't recall.
And that when Little D got jumped by MDC, they laughed at him because they thought YSL should have helped him out in the club.
YSL is not a game. So y'all keep trying to attach that to things that go on. If YSL was a game and you saying that I was Billy Blood and Lady was If game, how the hell, excuse my language, how would all us be YSL if we all supposed to be this and that and that? It don't make sense. If you're a gang, you only gonna be one thing.
Doesn't YSL have both Blood and Crip gang members?
YSL is a record label.
Were you ever signed to YSL as a record label?
Y'all keep locking me up.
Were you ever signed to YSL as a record label?
No.
When you got out of jail and you were doing your rap videos, were you signed to YSL?
I was signed to somebody else.
Okay, so you've never been on YSL, the record label, correct?
Okay.
Okay. So when we're talking about you was Billy Blood, but now I'm with Thug and them, I'm YSL, Billy Blood is not a record label, correct?
But when you're speaking on gang,
is Billy Blood a record label?
All right, well, he didn't seem to be answering. Go ahead and answer the question that's on the floor.
Is Billy Blood a record label?
I don't know what Billy Blood is.
So when she asked
saying it wrong?
She asked you was Billy Blood. You said, I was, but.
I'm talking to the police, so I don't recall what I don't say it to them. But when you're trying to say gang, it's a difference. When you put that gang on things, you go into where I was. I was a 30 deep gang member. You can't say I was a YSL gang member. YSL was never considered a gang. Y'all making it a game.
When you responded, I didn't go back to Inglewood because I hang with Thug and I'm YSL. Did you say I'm part of YSL, the record label?
Listen. It's not a game. You know what I mean? It don't matter how y'all try to put it, how y'all trying to see it. A gang is these people right here, everybody right here, and everybody. You can't put Crips and Bloods together and say that this is a game. Because if the Crips and Bloods get into it and everybody just saying that, they YSL, they got to pick what they're going to choose. You can't say, like when I was down the road and then people like, oh, that's Woody. He be with Young Thug, such. And the Blood's like, well, he not Blood. And then the Crips like, well, so when they get in, it don't make sense. Y'all got to get that. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all in here trying to make something more than what it is. It's not.
Is Duke a Crip?
I don't know. Ask Duke.
I'm asking you.
I don't recall.
Okay. And is Duke a part of YSL?
Ask Duke.
I'm asking you.
But we speaking on gang.
I asked you a simple question. Is Duke a Crip?
I don't know. I'm not a Crip. Never was.
That's not what I asked you.
I can't tell you who's a Crip and who's a Blood.
Do you know if Duke is a Crip?
I know I'm a civilian.
Overruled.
Do you know if Duke is a Crip?
I don't recall.
Okay. Do you know if Duke is a member of YSL?
I don't recall.
Also, in this February interview with Detective Gaither, did you also speak to her about the gambling house shooting that occurred in Lakewood?
I don't recall.
Did you tell her the whole time it come back on Kel and them? Because there's a little gambling house we go hang out and gamble. We go there, we gamble, we come out and leave Kel and them in the bushes. Kel, Stewie, they never mentioned the third person name. They in the bushes. They start shooting at us and they shot so many times. Shit, I was just glad to be alive.
I don't recall.
And when she asked you what gambling house, you said in Lakewood. They shot so many times. So damn near shot everybody's car. But they missed everybody and grazed one person across his back. But when the police came, he had already left. Couple people left, but it was Kel. Do you recall?
I don't recall.
And in fact, you told Detective Gaither the reason why you found out it was Kel is because he got into it with Gucci Red, and she came back and told you all that it was Kel that shot up the gambling house.
I'm talking to the police. I'm going to tell them anything to get them out my face. I don't recall what I don't told them, so you keep asking me the same these questions about what I told the police. Ask me about what's going on today. I don't recall about no lies I don't told in the past.
Back in 2015, were you afraid to come to court to testify if you had to against Tay?
Can you say it again?
Sure. Back in 2015, when you had this interview with Detective Gaither, were you afraid that you would have to come to court to testify against Tay?
Miss Hilton, you know I'm not afraid of nothing that's walking on this earth. Okay. You know that.
Looking at that interview, did you tell?
It's got a $10 Venmo from Cat Grow. Healing vibes to all the JBN civilians. Thank you so much, Catherine. You're the best.
Detective Gaither, if I describe him in your case, I will have to come to court.
I don't recall. What I don't told the investigator, whatever you call them.
And then you also asked Detective Gaither, if you point him out, meaning Tay, that's going to make it in his discovery packet.
I don't recall. Nothing I don't told the investigators.
And matter of fact, Detective Gaither said to you, I mean, if you identify him, you a victim. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say it's not going to eventually come out.
I don't recall. Nothing I told the investigators.
And you told her, man, I know if I do this, shit just going to get worse and worse.
Ms. Hilton, I don't recall. Nothing I don't told the investigators.
And you continue to say, nah, I'm worried about he get locked up, he get the discovery, see, I circle his picture and put my name on there, and he gonna send it to the street, say I told on him. And they gonna put it on Instagram and Twitter, and they gonna tell everybody, and then I'm gonna just be like, boy, then nobody won't be around me.
But the God honest truth is he never shot at me.
Okay. But back in 2015, your concern was if you pointed him out, you'd be labeled a snitch, correct?
No, my concern was if they locked him up for something that he didn't do, you know what I mean? Like, I don't recall, you know what I mean? I don't recall what I don't told the investigators, but telling them the truth be the last thing I ever do.
And matter of fact, you kept asking, I'm gonna have to come to court, correct?
I don't recall what I just said to the investigators.
And at that point, she tried to encourage you to pick him out of the photographic lineup, correct?
I don't recall.
And then you asked her, what do I have to do then? And she asked you, what you have to do then what? And you said, after I snitch. And she said to you, it's not snitching, it's telling the truth. If you call it snitching, you circle the person you know that shot at you.
It's snitching when you telling the truth.
And that's what your concern was, correct?
Not if y'all sitting here trying to make me say somebody shot at me that they didn't shoot at me. But if this way it's gonna take, because they keep saying here, you gonna let people shoot at you while you got your child? I'm tired of you keep asking me something. I don't know who shot at me. If I knew who shot at me, I don't recall.
If I knew who shot at me, I don't recall. You remember that?
Yeah.
No, Lil Wu is not in custody, Teresa.
Now, you said that everything you told the detectives is a lie. But didn't you also tell detectives that every time you hung around with Young Thug, he told you he was going to show you some new shit? That he's going to show you a new way of life?
I don't recall what I told the investigators.
Was that a lie?
I don't recall what I told the investigators.
Did Young Thug tell you at some point in time back in 2015 he was going to show you a new life?
What the hell? My life was all right. So I don't recall him telling me that.
Did you travel with Thug on tour?
No, I never traveled with him on tour.
Did you ever travel with him on a plane?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Did you ever go to Miami with him?
Yes, I have.
Did he ever give you money to post up in the club?
Nope. I want to pay somebody your money.
Did you tell the police that he would give you money at times to flash in the club?
I tell the police, what you don't tell them this is my money? They gonna want to know where I got it from?
Did you also tell the police that Thug told you to have your girl find a place in Cobb County so you can lay low for a while, and that he was gonna help you out and pay for it?
I tell the police anything to get them out my face at the time. I don't recall what I done told them.
Did Thug offer to pay for some place for you and your girl to live to lay low?
Did he ever do it?
That's not the question I asked you.
No, I made it up. I don't recall what I done said. I don't know. I don't even know if I said that to the police.
So are you saying today that Thug never offered to have you to lay low and pay for a place?
Thug never did nothing for me besides let me travel with him to his concerts, shows, or whatever you want to call it.
Didn't you tell the police after they asked you this question? They asked you, Thug can't get no money to get your girl to move? And you said, I know he will, but I'm in jail. They asked you, I mean what? To send words to send word. If he's going to look out, he would. Sorry. I mean what? To send word is to send word. If he's going to look out, he will, jail or not. And your response is, he said, find somewhere in Cobb or Clayton County. They won't come there. He said, don't bring anybody to the house.
I don't recall nothing I done told to the police.
It sure is, Kimber. His cross is going to be something else.
Now, you said that you was a member of 30 Deep. So 30 Deep a gang?
Nah, I just said that, but
Was 30 Deep also known as the Blue Jeans Bandit?
I don't know. That what y'all labeled it?
Have you ever heard 30 Deep be a reference as?
I don't recall.
What Bloods are a part of YSL?
Oh, thanks, Diz.
Huh?
What Bloods are a part of YSL?
What you mean? What Bloods are a part of YSL? You can't. I don't recall.
He was about to give her a lesson and then decided he didn't remember what the lesson was.
Do you know what other Crips are part of YSL?
I don't recall.
That should have been no. I don't recall. I don't recall insinuates.
And earlier, did I hear you clearly when you said YSL has Crips and Blood, so it can't be a gang? Did you say that?
You got to understand, if you're a gang, right?
Here we go.
So you a Bloods. The Bloods won't let you say that you YSL or you 30 Deep or you MDC. You going to even be Blood and whatever that is, a Crip or whatever that is. You can't be two, three different things. Like, where they do that at? Who your loyalty gonna be with?
That was a bad question by her.
Three different games. Anything liable to go down.
Because he's right.
Is your loyalty to YSL?
Is what?
Your loyalty.
My loyalty to myself. You keep saying YSL. What YSL ain't got nothing to do with me or the streets.
I just asked you whether or not Thug gave you money to flex on the stage, and your response was he did not give you money, correct?
I tell the investigators anything. That's what my response was.
Okay. In that January 28th interview, did you tell them Thug gave me money and I'm on stage flexing the money?
I don't recall what I told no police.
And as it relates to Miami, in that same January 28th interview, did you tell the police Thug had a show? He took me to a show with him. Thug had a show. I think it had to be in Miami because it was on a Sunday. We flew to Miami on a plane. While we in Miami, they was like in the club, this and that.
I don't recall what I done made up to tell the police.
Alley. Yeah, Lindsay, he's from Mechanicsville, Georgia. As he's told us many, many times.
After this February 21st interview, did you go to jail?
Can you say that again?
After this,
No,
after
we're
you
gonna
were
start
finished
this
with
shit again. Come on.
We sure are.
I don't know what you.
After you left that interview, when you're in the blue jumpsuit, did they take you to jail?
Wait, how long was I gone making coffee?
Huh?
10 minutes ago.
After you left
Seemed like it took me
the
4
interview on
minutes.
February 21st with Detective Gaither and Detective
Yeah,
Dennis.
so we missed all
did you
kinds
go
of
to
shit,
jail?
J-Bo.
Did they take me back to the jail?
Did they take
Yeah,
you?
I was off camera too. Apparently, he said something about she was asking questions. He's like, I don't know. I'm a civilian. That was his response.
Back to the jail.
I'm pretty sure they did.
Okay. And were you released in March of 2015 from your probation matter?
After y'all false arrest me,
Were you released from jail in March of 2015 from the
I was released. I don't know when.
Okay. After March of 2015, before June, did you ever go back to jail? Between March of 2015 and June, do you recall going back to jail?
Creed, I don't.
Every time the police saw me.
This isn't the kind of
Did
witness
you ever go back to
defense
Fulton County
attorneys
jail?
cross-examine
Between
for
March and June.
10 hours. And I'm not a prosecutor, so
Huh?
So back in
exactly
2015,
what he said.
you got out after the probation violation, correct? You got out of jail, correct?
Yeah, I got out.
Okay. And we know the next time you
Shit,
went to jail
jury
was in
badgering.
June because they arrested you at your house, correct?
No,
Good
they
one.
locked me up at Deshaun house.
Excuse me, at Deshaun's house, correct?
Right.
So I'm asking, between the time you were released in March and the time that you got arrested in June at Deshaun's house, did you go back to jail at any other time between when you were released and when you got locked up?
Yeah, I think I went to jail like 3-4 days after I got out.
And was that in Henry County?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember how long you stayed in Henry County?
It went no day or nothing. I stayed in there for a little minute.
When you say a little minute, would that be about a month?
Probably, yeah, I think so, a month. Another time y'all false arrested me.
Uh-oh.
That was in Henry County, correct? That you got arrested?
Yep.
You know Henry County.
Morning, crime spies.
Correct?
But how did I never been here in Canada a day in my life, so why they locking me up? Because y'all told them to.
That's a different county, correct?
Y'all all work together.
Is Henry County a different county? Okay. Now, during this time between March and June, were you still being accused of killing Nut?
I don't know.
Morning, Scott.
Did you still believe that people thought you killed Nut?
I don't recall.
Also, during this time, isn't it true that you thought that Thug was trying to kill you as well?
Huh?
Between March of 2015 and June of 2015, did you believe that Thug was trying to kill you?
I don't recall.
When you get arrested in June of 2015, you were frustrated. Is that fair to say?
Can you say that again?
When you got arrested in June of 2015, you were frustrated, correct?
I was.
Okay. You were upset that people were blaming you for something that you didn't do, correct?
No, I was upset. Y'all kept locking me up, and I was trying to get it. I don't recall.
Okay. Did you tell the police you were upset because people kept blaming you for something that you did not do?
I tell the police anything to finish my way out of jail.
And you also told the police that you thought Thug was trying to kill you, correct?
I tell the police anything to finish my way out of jail.
Okay. And it was during that June interview that you gave it all up, didn't you?
Gave what all up?
That you told about everything that happened the night of Donovan Thompson's murder.
I had enough time to I don't recall.
Yeah, Catgirl, that's not a great position for the state to be in when this is their star witness. Because Cat was like, I personally would take this as entertainment and nothing credible. It's it's a problem for the
And
state.
in June, that interview started at 9 o'clock in the morning after they arrested you at Deshaun's house, correct?
If you say so.
And you were arrested at Deshaun's house for the gun that they found at the Dunbar Center in May of 2015, correct?
I think so.
And also when you got to Deshaun's house, you had another gun in the house for which
I ain't have none.
they found another gun in Deshaun's house, correct?
That's what they said.
Correct. And they brought you into headquarters to speak with you, correct? They brought you to headquarters to speak. You shook your head. Was that a yes?
Yes.
And in that interview, Detective Gaither was present, correct?
If you say.
Detective Dennis was also there?
If you say.
Okay. Did you also speak with an ATF agent?
If you say.
Do you recall speaking to an ATF agent?
I don't recall none.
Okay. And at some point in time in that interview, Thorpe came and spoke with you as well, correct?
Did he?
At some point in time.
Okay.
Do you recall Thorpe coming to speak to you as well?
All right.
And then you also spoke with some internal affairs officers, correct?
I guess.
And this interview lasted at least, again, 9 hours, correct?
Felt like longer than that.
And when you first get into that interview, you tell Detective Gaither that you have not been hanging around Shannon. Correct?
Can you say it again?
When the interview talk starts, you tell Detective Gaither that you had not been hanging around Shannon anymore, correct?
I don't recall what I told the investigators, but believe me, if I'm not going to tell them the truth.
Okay. And you initially start the investigator saying that they're trying to kill you, correct?
Can you say that again?
You told the investigators that they were trying to kill you.
That who was trying to kill me?
That Thug and them were trying to kill you.
I don't recall.
Do you recall, did you ever text Thug's sister, Dolly, to ask her if Thug was trying to kill you?
I don't recall.
Right. Do you recall telling the detectives that you texted Max and asked her if Thug was trying to kill you?
I don't recall what I done told these people. But I'm not going to tell them the truth. Keep telling you that.
And were you concerned that they were trying to kill you because you had told on them?
If I don't told on them, they would have been in jail if they did anything that I was telling on them about.
Did you tell the detectives that they were trying to kill you because they think you told on them?
Man, I'm like that.
Okay. Matter of fact, Detective Gaither asked you, why is everybody in the world trying to kill you? And your response is, they think I told on them.
If you get in front of the police, play stupid, mislead them. I don't recall what I done told them. That's why I can't tell you, yeah, I remember telling them this. I don't recall.
Okay. And you actually provided the detectives with Dolly's phone number, correct?
I don't recall.
Okay. And Dolly's phone number at the time ended in 1990, correct?
I guess. I don't know.
And I'm calling her Dolly, but you actually called her Max, correct?
I don't recall.
And you told the detective that her name is actually Dolly White on Instagram.
I don't recall.
And you told the detectives that you called her and you asked her, your brother trying to get me killed? What the hell have I did to him?
I don't recall nothing I done made up and told the police.
And her response to you was just stop listening to everybody.
I'm delusional like that.
That was a
If
new
you're
one.
delusional, why would you need to tell the detectives about a text message?
Because it's just how I am. I'm going to justify myself. I'm already think ahead of time. I'm already try to make myself be prepared. I don't recall what I done told these people. I told you time after time after time. I done made this stuff up. I done made it all up. And you still want to ignore it.
And when the detectives asked you why would they be trying to kill you, You said, listen, when Nut got killed and police called me down here, I came down here and I told them, look, I don't know what the hell's going on. These police acting like they think I killed this man. I keep telling them this.
So if they were trying to kill me, if he got killed in January and I got locked up in June, I would have, if there was truth, if they were trying to kill me, so they mean they were trying to kill me, and you said if they were trying to kill me, why ain't nobody kill me? Because last time I checked, I was in Mechanicsville every single day. So y'all gonna go off without a lie to the police then? At this point, we wasting time right now.
Isn't that one of the questions you asked the police? I don't know why they haven't killed me yet because I'm always in Mechanicsville.
Keep it on me. I don't know what you talk about. I don't recall nothing I said to the police.
I feel like he's not going to make it. I feel like he's going to plead the fifth soon. He can't take it. He's hating this so much.
Yeah. I mean, it's super repetitive.
When they asked you who was...
But I guess it's still better than jail.
Talking to the police or
I mean, it amounts to...
Doug was right there. Doug
her
was there every time that you answered the phone.
She's treating him as hostile, so she's getting to cross him.
Right.
So she's getting to... She's just saying everything that she wants the jury to hear.
The police in front of anybody.
She's getting
Why would I answer
her
the phone
narrative out there.
Anybody with the police. They don't even make sense. You can just tell the police anything, they're going to go for it.
Okay. But did you tell the police that you would answer the phone in
I don't
front of
recall
Thug?
what. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Did you tell the police that you would answer the phone in front of Thug? So that's why they think you were snitching.
So they think I was snitching, and like you said, I was still around them. And you want them to be killers or whatever you want them to be. Why I didn't die? Why I'm not dead? Why?
Didn't you ask that same question to Detective Gaither?
I don't know what I don't ask them, but it's just.
And you said the same thing. I'm in Mechanicsville every day. So if they want me to be killed, why haven't they killed me yet? That's the same question you asked Detective Gaither, correct?
You telling me or you asking me?
I'm asking you that what you also told Detective Gaither.
You ask me. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So you can't pick and choose what I'm telling the truth about or what I'm lying about. I can't say the word what I'm trying to say because you don't want me cursing.
Okay. So the point is, did you tell Detective Gaither the same thing you're telling here is, why haven't they killed me yet? I've been in Mechanicsville every single day.
I tell the investigators anything so that I'm innocent, I look innocent, and I ain't guilty of nothing. Are we clear?
I understand what you're saying today. Okay. Let's talk about what you told the police back in 2015. Back in 2015, because you still haven't answered this question. Did you tell the detectives the same thing that you're saying here today, which is, I don't know why they haven't killed me yet, because I'm in Mechanicsville every day.
So what you saying?
I'm answer that question. Did you tell the detective the same thing you're saying?
I don't know what I don't told the investigator. I asked them that 30,000 times already. I don't recall what I don't told them. But what I'm telling you is, if somebody gonna kill me or somebody wanted to kill me, it wasn't hard to kill me. I was outside, still ill.
All right. During the same interview, you were concerned that Thug did not want you hanging around him anymore, correct?
I'm talking to the police. They're trying to tie this man into me.
Okay. Did you tell the police in that interview he think he did something, he got rid of me? And they asked you, what do you mean? He ain't want me hanging around him no more. I'm like, what the hell? You feel what I'm saying? What the hell? This N-word don't want me around? I get to asking Shannon and them, and Shannon's like, I don't know.
If they wanted me dead, they knew where I laid my head at. They could have easily called me and be like, come here and kill me if they were living like that.
Okay. And then they asked you, why does it matter to Thug if he talking to the police or not? If he had no say-so with what happened with Nut, you know what's going on? And your response is, between us, I want to say they had something to do with it. Who was they?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Don't pull them in my shenanigans. I keep telling you that. Y'all got me here to be truthful.
All right. And when you said all of them, and Detective Gaither asked you Thug and who? And you said Shannon and Beezy. All of them been acting funny towards me.
I don't know if you know, which you already know. But I don't run behind nobody. So when the investigators are questioning me, I'm going to say whatever to spin them to get them off of me.
Okay. And at that point, they asked you, how long have you known Shannon? And you said, longer than Thug has. And they asked, have you known Shannon for a good part of your adult life? And you said, we went to school together.
Because I knew my motive. My motive was to put the blame on them to get it off of me.
And then they asked you, you tell them, I'm going to tell you the truth. They did it.
I don't recall nothing I don't told the police.
And you said, I can't say who did it. And they said, who is they?
You finished?
Mm-hmm.
I don't recall nothing I told the police.
And your response was, I can't say who did it. This is how I know did it. Thug and them don't know which one did it. I was at the house. And you began going into what happened on the night of the murder. Is that correct?
I don't recall nothing I told the police.
Okay. You told the police back in this June 10th, 2015 interview, baby mama, she woke up. And I'm like, where you at? She at the Family Dollar on Auburn. And she's on the way. And you're telling the detective this is the night of the murder. Do you remember this?
I don't recall nothing I told the police.
And he said, is it true? After that night the murder happened, I called Thug. He always answered for me. I FaceTime him. He hung it up. I'm like, damn. I called D. And D like, where you at?
I don't recall nothing I told the police.
A word of
I made it all up.
And they clarified, D, is that the Mickey-on?
You asking me?
I am.
I don't recall nothing I said to the investigators.
And then she said, yeah, the Mickey-on. I don't talk to the one from Cleveland. D. I don't talk from D on Cleveland.
Oh,
I'm about to get.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You want to take a break?
No, you good.
Okay.
No, I want to take a
I'm about to
nap.
get this car, this white Charger. Do you recall telling the detective that you were going to get your brother's white Charger?
I tell the investigators anything, long as it ain't telling on myself.
Okay. He said, all right, I go to my brother's house. He going to give me the car, and I pulled up to the green store.
I don't recall nothing I told the investigators.
You then told him again, I called Thug. I ain't called D, and he didn't answer.
I think you just asked me that, and I just told you I don't recall nothing I said to the investigators.
Okay. You then tell the detective, I pull up at the
Yeah,
green
she
store. I
she
talked
could.
to Little Reddy.
Fresh
Me and Little
recollection.
Reddy talking, and D was on Cleveland. So then you went over to Cleveland.
Oh, there's
I don't even know who
Spitfire.
the reading is, but I don't recall nothing I talked to, none I
Right.
told the detectives or whatever y'all want me to say.
Hey, Spitfire.
You then tell the detectives that you leave from Mechanicsville and you pull up to the McDonald's on Cleveland Avenue.
I don't recall nothing I don't told the investigators.
And do you recall going to the McDonald's?
I don't recall nothing.
Okay. And you told the detectives when you pulled up to McDonald's that D was with Bentley and them, correct?
I don't recall nothing.
And is Bentley OG
Huh?
Bentley?
I don't recall nothing.
Okay. And when they asked you who else was with you, you told them Nard. And you said, hold on, I think I'm lying. It was a white Jeep. It was Nard, D,
Nard dog?
Bentley, Shannon,
Nard
and
dog?
were in the Jeep.
I don't
Nardo.
recall nothing I told to the police.
Nardarino.
Do you recall being at
The
the McDonald's
Nardster.
and seeing the Mickey-on,
Narda Larda Ding
Nard,
Dong.
Bentley, and Shannon in a white nitro?
I don't recall nothing.
And this was the nitro that
Wolfie, let me
Bentley
see.
has.
I don't recall nothing.
Okay. And do you recall D getting out of the vehicle and getting into your car?
I don't recall nothing.
And you told the detectives that D got out, and when D got out of the car, he got in the car with you.
I don't know how many times I keep telling you I don't recall nothing.
Okay. Isn't it true that when D got in your car, he told you they just killed Nut?
I don't recall nothing.
Isn't it true that you told the detectives in this June interview, Demekion said they just killed Nut?
I don't recall nothing.
And when he said that, that's when Nard got into your car.
I don't recall nothing.
And is it true that once Nard got into the car, you stopped talking about
I
the
did.
murder with
I
Demekion?
did get it.
I don't recall
Wolfie, thank you
nothing.
so much for that
Isn't it true that's
PayPal. I
what you told
appreciate
the
it.
detectives?
I don't recall.
Okay. Once Nard got in the call, did you have some concern about why D stopped talking?
I don't recall.
Is it true that you told the detectives when Nard got in the call, I'm like, why, D stopped talking? And
I
I'm like,
found
why
it.
the hell D stopped talking? I ain't say nothing. I'm in the
Sierra
car.
gave me a nice
riding.
$20
I don't
PayPal.
recall.
Nice.
While
Thank
you were
you
in the
so
call with D and Nard, did Moontum call you?
I don't recall.
Is it true that you told the detectives Moontum FaceTime you and said, Nut just got shot, boy?
Nothing I said was true. Why you keep asking me, is it true? I don't recall nothing I said to the police.
And
Oh man, Scout,
your
hope you feel
response
okay.
to Moontook was, I'm like, I just heard it, boy. He said your name on Instagram. And you said, I'm just getting out of the house. I ain't had no parts of it.
Yeah. I don't recall nothing.
Isn't it true? That's what you told the detectives. That after once Moontook called you, he said to you, I just heard it, boy. He said your name.
I'm sorry.
He said your name on Instagram. I'm just getting out of the house. I didn't have any parts of it.
I don't recall.
And they asked you, who was Nard?
I don't recall.
Do you know who Nard is?
When you asked me that back there, what I told you?
Do you know who Nard is?
No, I told you back there I didn't know who Nard was.
Have you ever seen Nard?
I don't recall nothing. I don't told the investigators.
My question to you is, have you ever seen Nard?
I don't recall.
And when they asked you who Nard was, is it true you told the police that Nard was locked up?
I'm trying to make. I don't recall.
And they asked you what he was locked up for, and you told them what he was locked up for.
I don't recall.
Then they continued to get more information. When Nard got into the car, you said, D, stop talking. Once you left McDonald's, where did you go?
I don't recall. I don't even recall going to McDonald's. I don't recall nothing that you talking about. I don't recall no lie that I told the investigators. You got me here to tell the truth, but you keep asking me about some lies I don't made up.
Isn't it true that you told detectives y'all got on the expressway?
Nothing I said is true. I don't recall.
And is it true that you told the detectives that they followed you, that you were following the Nitro up to Thug's house?
I don't recall.
And isn't it true then you said you followed them to Thug's house, and you said once you dropped off Demikian and Nard at Thug's house?
I don't recall.
Do you recall going to Thug's house the night that Donovan Thomas was murdered?
I don't recall.
Did you isn't it true you told the detective? So we followed him to Thug's house. He stayed downtown at the Sky House.
I don't recall.
Did Thug stay at the Sky House back in 2015?
I don't recall.
Isn't it true that once you got to Thug's house that Nard got out of the car?
I don't recall.
Isn't it true you told the detectives that once you got to Thug's house, Nard got out of the vehicle?
I don't recall.
Is it true that when Nard got out of the vehicle, Demikian told you they just killed Nut?
I don't recall.
Is it true that's what you told the detectives, that once Nard got out of the car, Demikian told you they just killed Nut?
I don't recall no lie I told the police.
And isn't it true that when Demikian told you they just killed Nut, he pointed in the direction of Thug, Nard, and Shannon, who was getting out of the car?
I tell the police anything, get them out my face.
And
I do not recall one thing I told the police.
And isn't it true you told detectives, your response is, I'm like who? And he just pointed towards Nard and them.
I don't recall.
He's gonna start answering. He's either gonna complete the fifth or start answering. He's the.
Demikian.
He's getting
so
mad.
You sense his frustration.
I don't recall.
Yeah. I mean, this happened yesterday, and then all of a sudden he started answering.
Why do you think that you did it?
I don't recall.
And your response was, because me and Kel
Don't let the bastards grind you down, man.
recall.
Don't let the bastards grind
and
you
they
down.
asked you, what does Nard have to do with it?
I don't recall.
And you told the detectives, this is what I want to tell you. I think Thug and Nut had problems with each other.
I don't recall.
And weren't you telling the detectives information that you learned from Demikian?
I don't recall.
And they actually asked you if Demikian would come down there and talk with them, correct?
I don't recall.
And
Leslie,
you told them,
that's
I'll
exactly what
come
he's going to
down,
do.
because when you gave them Demikian's number the first time, Demikian never called them.
I don't recall.
And you actually told the detectives you encouraged Demikian to call the police.
I don't recall.
And you told the detectives, I told D, I love you too much. I helped you. These niggas not for you, bro. And you going to go with them.
True. Lil Woo.
I don't recall.
Didn't D tell you that they hid the car and the guns after the murder?
My comment, Scouty, I don't
I
recall.
don't recall.
Isn't that what you told the detectives, that they
Thanks, Scout.
that D told you that they hid the car
Or Allie.
and the guns?
Thank you.
I tell detectives anything they want to hear. If they go for it, they go for it. I don't recall.
And didn't you tell the detective it was a gray car?
I don't know. I don't recall what I told them.
And you said you knew what the car was because you had saw the car on video.
I don't recall what I don't told them.
And they asked you whether or not it was a Pontiac. And you told them that it was not a Pontiac.
I tell them anything. As long as I throw them out, that's all they matter.
You also told them that it was a rental vehicle, correct?
I tell them anything to throw them off.
And although you're telling us today that you said anything to throw them off, isn't it true that you told the detectives, I promise you, I ain't lying. I hate jail. I'll be damned. The nigga tried to kill me and my child.
I do hate jail. And I would tell the police anything to throw them out.
My question for you is, isn't it true that you told the detectives, I promise you, I ain't lying. I hate jail. I'll be damned. The nigga tried to kill me and my child.
I don't recall.
Hi, Miss Hilton. Let's take a break. It's about time for our morning break.
Oh.
Let's take 10 minutes or so.
Let's see what he does here. He's going to go on his little break with his jacket. He's probably going to go on Instagram. Yeah, I'll pull this up. Baby Doll brought this up. Their meeting, our little meeting here at the bench. Yeah, so apparently, let me pull this up. Melnick, Little Woody's criminal lawyer, has been suspended from practice. The guy who came in and testified, let me get this tweet.
It says it, I got it up. It says it's not related to this case.
Right.
It's for a child support case that he was handling. Apparently, he failed to inform his client about a motion to enforce a settlement agreement that had been entered, which resulted in a court order that negatively impacted the client. Melnick's actions, which included failing to notify the client and not responding to the motion, which is the bigger of the two. I mean, if you fuck up, you gotta undo it by filing a motion to vacate, which he clearly didn't do, were found to be willful and resulted in harm to the client. According to the Supreme Court's order, Melnick has a history of prior disciplinary actions, including reprimands in 2003-2006 for similar violations, which require attorneys to act with reasonable diligence and communicate effectively with their clients. The special master in the case recommended a suspension of 90 days to 6 months, citing Melnick's repeated failures and lack of remorse as aggravating factors. The review board agreed that Melnick violated the rules but recommended a public reprimand instead of a suspension, arguing that his prior offenses were too remote to weigh heavily as aggravating factors. However, the Supreme Court of Georgia ultimately decided that the 6-month suspension was appropriate. The court found that Melnick's conduct was willful, noting his failure to acknowledge the wrongful nature of his actions and his attempt to blame the client. The court has also noted that Melnick's prior disciplinary history, while somewhat remote, still justified a suspension due to the similarity of the past misconduct. He appeared in court with his client on Monday. However, he does not appear to be in the courtroom today. Last week, Melnick's representation of Copeland was questioned when Copeland was questioned about his willingness to testify again in the Young Thug and YSL trial. Although the state's prosecutor believed he no longer represented Copeland, the court was able to get in touch with the lawyer, and it was confirmed that he was still Copeland's lawyers. So it's unknown who's repping Copeland at this time. So
That's pretty bad, huh?
Yeah, I mean, for a dude that's in the middle of testimony like this with, immunity things going on and pretty heavy duty testimony, theoretically, it's can't give him the warm and fuzzies. You better get a new dude.
Yeah, I would assume it's going to be Kayla Bumpus, who was the attorney that he called. He was like out of town for something, and she was the one who was in the ex parte meeting, and she's been going to court with him. So I would have to assume that Kayla Bumpus is going to be. And she posts on her YouTube. That's how, I think it was Kaylee who's in the chat here tagged me, or if it wasn't, whoever it was, thank you for tagging me on Twitter. She posted how the court reporter brought the snacks for him. So that was, I assume, is going to be her. Unless he gets someone else, but it seems like he goes to court with her or meets her with court. So, and while we are waiting here, I could pull up the clip I was telling you about. Let me see if I can find it. On the case that Bob and Allie are going to be covering, that is Robert Tellis. There was like a new. I found like an update, and that's where I saw that it was. No, I was saying it. This is it. Here we go. Whoops.
Investigative newspaper reporter Jeff Gehrman. Day one of jury selection is ending for the trial of Robert Tellis, the man accused of killing Gehrman.
8 News Now investigator Kyle Payne joining us live from the Regional Justice Center. And Kyle, there's been a lot of build up to today.
Wow.
What was the atmosphere like in court?
Beardy.
Kirsten Denise, as is sometimes the case in court, there was a lot of hurrying up and waiting today. But other than the important task of trying to get a jury impaneled, there was one other major item discussed. When Gehrman was killed, the police took phones and a laptop owned by Gehrman that he used in his job as a reporter. Gehrman's employer, the Las Vegas Review-Journal, ultimately screened all those files for privileged information shielded by the First Amendment. Information they say the police and prosecutors shouldn't be able to see. They've been reviewing that information since May, but the newspaper didn't finish that review of the laptop until today. So the lawyers finally got those files this morning, and the prosecutors in court asked the judge to make sure Tellis wanted to go ahead with trial without reviewing those files from the laptop.
The state would ask the court to
obtain
waivers from the defendant that he is waiving any further search of Gehrman's computer, which he received today. He's waiving challenging any of the privilege assertions by the Review Journal on his phone, Gehrman's computer, and he's waiving any further searches of the devices because under the search.
The trial judge, Michelle Levitt, asked Tellis in several different ways whether he wanted to go ahead with the trial, even though there might be evidence in all those electronic files that might actually help him with his defense. In the end, Tellis chose to go forward. The judge double and triple checked with him and wanted to make sure that he would actually go ahead and proceed, and also that he understood there might be evidence that he's ignoring that might help him get off at trial. Denise.
So there you go. I mean, this guy, if you don't know this guy, Tellis, first of all, at a certain point, he was pro se. Now he has an attorney. But also, I saw a news, I don't know if I forget it was an article or a post, but his attorney's like, yeah, he's going to be testifying. Essentially, basically said he's going to testify, folks. So that's going to be.
Yeah, I saw that. I watched the 48 Hours last night about that case. And I don't know.
I mean, the evidence is pretty strong, right, Bob?
Pretty strong evidence.
He puts on an outfit like a landscaper when he allegedly goes and stabs this journalist who's investigating him to death. And then they go to his house, and first of all, he's in one of those suits that you wear, like
hazmat suit.
Yeah, he's in like the end of The Departed. I'm thinking of where what's his name is in the Marky Martin? Is it Mark Wahlberg? He's in The Thing and he kills Matt Damon. He's in like this thing like where you don't want to get your DNA everywhere. Anyway, right. They check his house and they find cut up pieces of this outfit that the person who stabbed the guy like in his house, like under his couch, he like cut it up and put it in like a Ziploc. I mean,
yeah. It's so he had a big like straw sun hat on that landscapers wear, and he was they caught the perpetrator on video from across the street, and they show this dude who's walking with this big kind of sun hat that they say that landscapers out in Vegas use because it's so hot out there. And then he had a bright orange like safety jacket on, so you can't see his face. They noticed that his gait is unusual, because basically what happens first is that because he worked for the journal out there, the paper, and there were like 4 reporters, and namely 4 people that had come to him that worked for Tellus that were like, you need to investigate this guy. This guy's just doing awful shit to like all the women in this office. He's bullying them. There's harassment. There's like he's having an illicit affair with one of the workers, with one of the employees. So these women are really the ones who really kind of start digging into it. So the paper starts digging in. They do like a Google Earth search, and they end up seeing, like, they first noticed the maroon Tahoe that ultimately they then do a Google search of his house, and they see that there's a maroon. When the Google camera came by, took a picture, and that the maroon Tahoe is parked in his house. Turns out that it's registered to his wife. And so ultimately within 5 days, they get the DNA back from under the reporter's fingernails, and it's a match to, or Tellus can't be excluded. They do the search, and there they find out cut up pieces of that hat, and then cut up pieces of a bloody Nike shoe. So like apparently his defense is that the cops are framing him.
Yeah,
so that's what he's coming. And he is a lawyer. He's a lawyer who was originally handling it pro se. And then he realized.
I didn't realize he was a lawyer. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's a licensed. Well, I don't know if he's going to be licensed for very long, but after a couple of hearings, he finally realized, that old saying, a lawyer that represents himself has a fool for a client. So he decided to get a lawyer. So it's definitely going to be a wild trial. There's no question about that. Especially if this guy's going to, because like in that 48 hours. Kind of the reporter that was like the main reporter in that particular episode went to the jail and did a video jail call that Tellus must have agreed to do. So when he asks him flat out, he's like, did you kill him? Did you kill him? And he's like, no, I didn't kill him. And he's like, come on, man. He's like, the DNA, your DNA is under his fingers. He's like, what? He's like, what is the explanation of that? He's like, oh, well, the cops planted that. He's like, under his fingernails, you're telling me that somehow the cops got, he's like, he was really coming at him really hard. So yeah, it should be a pretty interesting trial. It sure seems like they've got pretty strong evidence on the guy though.
Yeah. So yeah, folks. Bob already sent the link. Whether they finish jury selection today seems questionable. But if they do, if you want to check that out, make sure you're subscribed and checking it out. Yeah. Oh yeah. He's definitely planning on. That's going to be like must see when this dude testifies. I mean, that's going to be real interesting to see that. So make sure you subscribe to Defense Diaries if you're not already. As we wait for little Woody, Bob, I really I don't know if he's gonna be able to do this for a day. Like I just feel like he's gonna be like, I can't do this anymore. Or I guess he could just keep saying, I don't recall, but he seems to be fed up.
Yeah, I mean he's struggling today, and it's like he probably raged last night. probably went home, partied a little bit, was probably up. Rolled out, just thinking, I'm just going to go, saying I don't recall a bunch today more. But for 6 hours, it's going to be brutal.
I guess he's going to have to make that call in his head. Would I rather do this or would I rather be in jail right now? Like, that's what it comes down to for him. Like, would I rather,
I think he'll probably power through,
Yeah, I would think so.
At some point, I would hope that the judge would call the prosecutor up and say, look, you got to tailor this, like this thing. Like, I'm not going to let you just keep going. I mean, she's essentially testifying.
Yeah. Exactly.
Excuse me. You know what I mean? Like it's like when you have a direct examination, typically it's open-ended questions, which allow the witness to give kind of a narrative answer. But here you have her getting everything that she wants the jury to hear out in the form of the question. So it really, to her, it doesn't matter She's getting all the text messages in. She's getting all the things that he says in. It's all coming in. I mean, even though he's denying it or saying that he doesn't recall, the jury's still hearing it. So, I mean, in terms of, she doesn't care what he's saying, really. Like, in her mind, it's going to be one of two things. Either the jury's going to find him to be completely incredible or uncredible. And, they're going to say, all right, well, this guy's full of shit. Like, I don't believe anything that he's saying. Or it's going to backfire on her, and they're going to be like, okay. But, I mean, the biggest thing that I'm taking away from this testimony thus far is there's been no actual link to in anything. The closest that we came was the Lexus. That was the first thing where Thug was in some way related to an action that took place that ended up in somebody being killed. So, and that's as close as we've gotten. Like, there's been nothing else to me, unless I've missed it, is that has indicated that this is a gang, that Wu was part of this gang, that he was taking orders from Thug, that the hit on Nut was as a result of Thug asking for it to happen. And this guy is their star witness. I mean, if this is your star witness, you've got to be very, very nervous about your case if you're the state, because RICO cases are tough to begin with just because of the nature of them. And then there's like a lot of inference in RICO cases. Like, RICO really kind of came about when they were trying to figure out a way to get the mafia, like to get the mob, like that like RICO really was born out of the feds trying to figure out a way to start getting these mafia guys incarcerated. And that, the RICO statute was born out of that. So, and obviously now here with this representation that YSL is a gang, I mean, there's just going to have to be a ton of inferences made, but the defense is up to the task. I mean, Steele's definitely up to the task. I mean, Steele, I guess we weren't streaming it at that time, but in his opening, did we stream the opening? I can't remember if we did the opening.
I think
apparently he fronted this, like, whatever this Lexus situation was. So, come here, give me hugs. What? You're on. Oh,
you got a shot today? How you feeling?
Which arm?
This arm, so that when I'm spiking it, I can still go hard.
Oh,
how did tryouts go?
And then they also made me draw blood.
What?
Okay.
For a sports physical? That's weird.
How were the tryouts?
Good. I have another tryout today for the same thing. It's a 2-day tryout.
Oh, good luck.
Yeah. What are you doing beforehand? I thought like there was you're going to some your friends or something.
Yeah, I'm going to a party.
Oh, a party.
Yeah.
Party.
A party.
What?
Yeah.
Before tryouts?
Yeah.
Don't party too hard.
Day party. Oh, she said it's a boy-girl party. Oh, boy.
Ooh.
Oh, boy. Do I have to lurk? Do I have to lurk around this party? Make sure there's no shenanigans, tomfoolery.
Funny business.
Funny business.
Are there any, are we all in the same grade at this party? What's the...
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All soon-to-be 7th graders?
Yeah. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. After
First
tryouts.
day of
Okay.
school. First day of school.
This is the last day you'll ever see me.
No, don't say that. We'll still say that. Who's throwing the party?
My friend.
Is it a pool party?
No.
Oh.
Just a party.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow. Sounds like I better lurk. I better creep on this party. Make sure there's no 7 minutes of heaven going on there.
Dad will be sitting outside lurking at the party.
Yeah.
Scott, what do you think of Little Woody's jacket there? What do you think of Little Woody's jacket? Do you like it?
Yeah.
$3,000. $3,000 for it.
Outfit.
$3,000 for that Letterman jacket right there. Pretty sharp, huh? It's got good style.
No.
You don't like it?
I love it.
No, I'm talking to this comment here.
Oh, what did it say?
It said, I don't know where it went. It said, do you still play spin the bottle at parties?
Spin the bottle. Wow, that's old school. That's OG.
No.
That is old.
Maybe at Karen's parties, but not at ours.
Well, Woody was just talking to the court
Travis
reporter.
is still asking about the same, what's the best Italian beef, Sammy, in Chicago? I'm going to be so disappointed if you don't know this. There's only one correct answer. Yes, of course it's that. Well, give him the answer. Give him the answer.
It's Johnny's Beef.
Johnny's Beef, best Italian beef in Chicago, bar none. What? When?
At dinner.
Yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. When was I talking about Johnny's?
Oh,
when I was talking about the bun being soaked in the beef juice. Yeah, right, that's true.
I don't like soggy buns.
What? Soggy bread, man.
Did you learn anything from this, Scout? You can tell your parents, I don't recall.
Yes,
Wow.
that is your answer if you are going to get in trouble.
Under heavy cross-examination, I don't recall.
Did you eat the last cookie?
Oh, Leslie Simmons.
Right.
It is, so an Italian beef is like it's
salmon?
thinly sliced
Mr.
roast
Copeland,
beef
back in
that they soak in this delicious au jus. That's it. The juice is the key. You like the juice, eh? The juice is good, eh? It's delicious. And then it's on fresh French bread. And then you either put there's sweet green peppers, which are sauteed in butter and delicious, or giardiniera, which is a kind of like a hot pepper mix in oil.
See?
It's Chicago's equivalent of, Philly cheesesteak. And it's a great sandwich. It's a great sandwich. Jay, I hazard to guess that you would even love an Italian
No, that
beef.
doesn't sound good. I don't like peppers. I wouldn't like that.
You don't have to get it with the peppers, schmoo.
Dad.
Is it steak, though? Is it steak?
Yeah, soggy buns.
No, it's super thinly sliced roast beef that is like soaked in this.
I'd give it a whirl.
I think you could try it when you come.
I got a
Chicago.
question.
Our family is going to
Bring your ass
Chicago
to
this
Johnny's.
weekend.
First of all,
Best
thank you,
place for
Jennifer.
pizza.
Oh, Jennifer Adams. Okay, so it depends. Do you want? Everyone says, Chicago's deep dish. Like we've got great thin crust as well. It depends, Jennifer. Tell me what you want. I'll give you the two spots. If you want thin crust, I'll tell you. If you want deep dish, I'll tell you what
Just
are
tell
the
her
best.
right now. You're going to make her pay again. Just tell her.
She doesn't have to pay. Nobody has to pay for us to put up comments in our chat.
Well,
that's
you're doing it.
That's a fact.
You made her do it. Apparently,
No,
you were ignoring her.
she.
Apparently, you were ignoring her, Dad.
I didn't ignore her.
But Dad.
But Scout.
But Dad.
But Scout, I did not ignore her. All right, we're in the middle of a trial. You got to go.
You're the
all
one talking.
Good luck,
I know.
Scout.
I gotta.
Good luck with your trial.
I love you.
2015, were you mentioned in any of Thug's songs? Was your nickname Woody mentioned in any of Thug's songs?
Huh?
Did Thug mention you in any of his songs back in 2015?
Back in 2015?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I don't know.
Do you recall telling the detectives that he put your name in these songs and he doesn't know? You don't know why he put your name in these songs.
I didn't like him rapping about me.
Why didn't you like him rapping about you?
Huh?
Why didn't you like him rapping about you?
Because it's my life. Like, don't be lying on me.
What do you mean by that?
Don't be lying on me.
Are you talking about in the rap song?
Thank you, Jennifer. Thin crust, Bob.
Telling on you in the rap
song.
Yeah, I put it in.
Do you recall what the verse was or what he said in the rap song?
You know English. No, I don't recall.
You see it? Pequods. It's called Pequods.
Now,
the spelling's right there in the
back
chat.
in 2015,
You'll
we
love
talked
it.
about the gun that you had, the gun that was at the Dunbar Center.
I ain't had no gun.
Was there a gun that was in a H&M bag that they found at the Dunbar Center?
Though they said.
All right. And isn't it true that Quindarius, Zachary, or Little D from Cleveland purchased that gun for you?
I don't recall.
Okay. Isn't it true that you told the detectives when they asked you how did you get possession of that gun? You said, I got it the day he bought it for me.
Oh, recall.
And you asked, and you said, yeah, he bought it for me. He bought it out of the pawn shop for you.
I recall.
And that you paid $1,000 for that gun.
I recall.
And you purchased the gun because you thought you could defend yourself.
I recall.
Did you think that you were able to defend yourself because of the retaliatory shootings that were happening back in 2015?
I recall.
Do you recall telling the detectives that another detective told you you had a right to protect yourself?
I recall.
But that you couldn't take the gun if you were at the club, but if you were at home, you had a right to protect yourself?
I recall.
When you were at the Dunbar Center with the gun, were you trying to sell that gun?
I was at Dunbar Recreation playing basketball.
Okay. And while at the Dunbar Recreation Center playing basketball, did you have the gun that Quindarius Zachary purchased for you?
I had a basketball.
Isn't it true that you also had the gun that Quindarius Zachary purchased for you?
I had my shirt off. I was playing basketball.
Where was the gun at?
You tell me.
Isn't it true that the gun was sitting on a bench and the basketball court in an H&M bag?
I was playing basketball.
He says basketball.
And isn't it true that you were trying to sell the gun that day, that you had it at the Dunbar Recreation Center?
Yeah. I ain't have no gun.
Isn't it true that you told the detectives that you gave them the gun to sell and that they were going to sell the gun, that you were trying to sell your gun that day that you got caught with the gun at the Dunbar Recreation Center?
I tell investigators anything.
Matter of fact, isn't it true that you told the detective, when I was locked up, I called one of my partners and he was like, get some money, can you help me out? He was like, yeah. When I got out, they brought me the gun back. And I was like, I don't want it. I was still trying to sell it. That is what I had, you know what I mean? When I got the gun, I got it from the green store. I went up to the park to go play basketball, but I was waiting on them to come and get it. Little D and them, so his brother pulled up. They actually waiting on who to come and get it. You talking about Demikian or Quindarius? You said Little D from Cleveland. He was supposed to pull up and get it.
Cap, I tell the investigators anything to get them off me. I didn't have no gun. I didn't know nothing about the gun. When they said something about the gun, I was confused, shot, lost. That's why they let me go that same day.
Morning, Anja.
And matter of fact, they wanted to make sure that they were correct, that you were both talking about the same gun. And Detective Gaither said, I'm talking about the one from the Dunbar Center. He said, that is what I'm talking about. I'm sorry. Sorry. That is what I'm talking about. I got out of jail from Henry County Monday, and police got me for the gun Tuesday. I did not go to jail.
Can you say it again?
Sure. Detective Gaither wanted to clarify that the gun she was referencing was the gun from the Dunbar Center. And your response was, that is what I'm talking about. I got out of jail from Henry County Monday.
Judge Wells in the house.
Police got me for the gun
What's up,
Tuesday. I did not go to jail.
Can you say it one more time?
Sure. Isn't it true that Detective Gaither wanted to make sure that you both were talking about the same gun? So you clarified for her and said, that is what I'm talking about. I got out of jail from Henry County on Monday, and police got me for the gun on Tuesday. I did not go to jail.
I don't recall.
Jay, he doesn't recall.
Now, back in June of 2015, were you still hanging with both Shannon and Demikian in June of 2015?
I don't recall.
Isn't it true that you told the detectives in that interview, 1 minute D is with Shannon, and then when D's not with Shannon, him and me are together?
I don't recall. Nothing I told the investigators. I would tell them anything to get them off of me.
Back in 2015, did you get all of your information from Little D from Cleveland? Excuse me, Little D from Mechanicsville.
Say that again?
Back in 2015, because you were locked up from parts of time, did you get all of your information from Little D from Mechanicsville?
I'm Mr. Make Believe. I make it up. I don't recall nothing I done made up. I keep telling you that.
Isn't it true that you told the detectives in this same June 2015 interview, I get all my information through Little D, and they clarified which Little D, and you said Mechanicsville. And they said, so Demekion, and you said yes.
I don't recall nothing I don't say, whatever I made up to the police.
Okay. Do you recall saying that he's always in the midst of everybody? Everyone talks through him. You know what I mean? I can always just ask. I can call Lil D right now, and he will sit here and tell me what's going on.
Nah, I don't recall nothing, but I do know that I tell Lil D what to say. So if I told the investigators go ask Lil D something, it's because I don't told Lil D to be prepared for it.
Now, in 2015, did you know someone by the name of Valerie or V?
Who?
Valerie.
Who?
Did you know someone by the name of Valerie?
I don't recall.
Okay. Isn't it true that you told the detectives that it was Valerie who told you that Thug wanted to kill you?
I don't recall nothing I done made up to the police.
Isn't it true that you told the detectives that Valerie got into a car while you were at a baby shower and told you that Thug was trying to kill you?
That wasn't true. I made it up. If I did say that, if I didn't say it, I don't recall nothing I said to the police.
Isn't it also true, though, on a jail call after June 10th, 2015, you told Max that Valerie told you that Thug was trying to kill you?
Yeah, because I told you that. One thing, I don't recall.
Okay. Now, isn't it true? Well, let me ask you this.
HA, pull me off.
After Valerie told you that Thug was trying to kill you, did you try to reach out to Monte or Yak Gotti?
No, I don't got nothing else to say.
Oh, okay. Isn't it true that you told the detectives in this same June 2015 interview, you saw Monte and Detective Gaither asked you which Monte? Your response, Yak. Like day before yesterday, went to the graveyard. When I seen him, he was at my cousin's house. I was like, damn, man, we grew up together. They asked you, what is Yak's real name? Do you know? You said no. Detective Gaither, you said you grew up with him. Your response, I just know his first name, Monte. Don't know the last name. You told me that Thug planned on killing me. And Monte's response to you was, hell nah, bro, I never heard that. He denied it. He said, you said that people will never say it. Word was, I was talking to the police too much. You feel what I'm saying?
So once I was released from Henry County Jail, everybody was asking me, did I hear the song? Everybody was telling me that Thug had put out the song Halftime. And the police wasn't targeting me again. That's why they got me the next day. I was mad. I was like, damn, this nigga telling on me, putting me in his song. So I was mad at him, and I started plotting against him. I was talking to one of my friends, and I was telling him, hey, man, this nigga trying to make it seem like I'm out here. Ooh, I said what I said to my buddy. And, yeah, I didn't like the simple fact that he was saying stuff that didn't have nothing to do with him and his song. Like, why is you rapping about what I'm doing in the streets? Like, they done got nothing to do with. So, yeah, I was mad with him, and I was plotting on him.
When did the song Halftime come out?
I don't, man, this song was old, but when he put it out, the police started making it seem like it was a new song, and then they started trying to use that song to say that this and that and third.
Is Halftime the only song that mentions your name?
Yeah, I don't know. I just know this song made the police come after me, and I didn't like the simple fact of it. I didn't give nobody permission to say nothing about me in no song.
Why do you believe that the song made police started coming after you?
Because that's what they said. They said it. That's what the investigator told me.
What did the investigators tell you?
I don't know.
So is it your testimony that the investigator said, hey, because your name is in the song, we're now coming after you?
What I do, go to the grave with me. You hear me?
It's starting to come out. He's starting to answer some questions.
Well, yesterday
he's starting to wear it down.
You and Threat shot up.
This happened yesterday too.
Rich Homie Quan's barbershop.
Yeah, you got me frustrated, and I ain't mean to say that.
Uh-oh.
Do you recall asking the judge if you could say it?
I was frustrated.
Now, they asked you, why would Thug be nervous if he had nothing to do with anything? And your response is, y'all keep saying my name. They saying me and Thug. That's what I keep saying, but I had no parts in it. Are you talking about the fact that you had no parts in killing Nut?
I don't recall nothing I said to no police.
Now, isn't it true that
nothing I say is true? Okay. No.
Up until June of 2015, were you trying to keep what you knew about Nut's murder to yourself?
Can you say that again?
Sure. Prior to this interview in June of 2015, were you trying to keep what you knew about Nut's murder to yourself?
I don't know what you mean.
Okay. Isn't it true that you told detectives, this is what I'm telling you. This is what I'm telling you. I'm asking you, with the murder, I'm trying to explain it. I act like I never heard about it. I act like I never told D and none of them, period. So I just kept it to myself.
Yeah, I tell so many lies and different stories to the point I don't even know. I don't have a clue what I don't see. All I know
He's starting to break a little bit, Bob.
I'm innocent.
Is he cracking?
And today I'm innocent.
He's starting to like answer some questions.
And innocent too.
What are you innocent of?
Everything.
Anything.
Okay.
All of it.
Are you innocent of, did you not kill Nut? Is that what you're talking about?
Now, ask me that how many times now?
Because I'm trying to understand what you're talking about.
I don't know. I don't recall.
Okay. Were you, back in 2015, concerned that Thug had stopped talking to you? Excuse me, back in 2015.
Can you ask me that again?
Sure. Back in 2015, were you concerned that Thug was not speaking to you?
No.
Isn't it true that you told the detectives, he's not talking to me, period, and you're talking about Thug? And they asked you, he's not talking to you for a reason because he thinks you're talking to us. And your response is, he's not thinking I'm telling you nothing. He's just thinking I'm talking to the police a lot because he heard my conversation with the police.
I'm talking to the police, so my only motive is to throw them off. You know what I mean? Like, what I got going on ain't got nothing to do with him, but they want to keep tying him into what I got going on, so guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw it off on him because I was mad he put that song out saying this and that and third. That don't got nothing to do with him, so he never did that, so I'm going to put the blame on him. Don't throw me under the bush. I'm going to throw you under the bush. That was my whole motive.
Now, Now, with your name inside of the songs, were you concerned that he was putting your names in songs? You thought he should be putting Shannon's names in the songs?
So for one, the song was old. Halftime was old. The song been out since like 2014. You know what I mean? I wasn't mad about. I was mad about the timing of when the song was released, because the facts are the facts. I mean, I don't shoot nobody for that, man. So when he put it out, I didn't care for the song, but when he put it out, the police were trying to put this murder on me, and they was targeting me. I don't like the police keep bothering me, so I just didn't like I didn't like the timing of when they put that song out. When their label, whoever put it out, I didn't like the timing of it.
When you said the police were trying to put the murder on you, didn't the police have you come in every single time for you to tell?
Can you say that again?
You said the police were trying to put the murder on you.
Right.
When you went in each of these times in early June, in January through June, did you ever get arrested for Nuts murder?
What you mean?
You said the police were trying to put the murder on you. Between January and June of 2015, did you ever get arrested for Nuts murder?
No.
Okay. So during the time that you kept going into the police, did they ever, at any of these times, arrest you for Nuts murder?
They were discombobulated. They were so confused, I kept spinning them. But when he put that song out, they was like, yeah, you did it.
In any of these interviews that you had with the detectives, what detective said you killed Nut?
Hey, I don't know.
Okay. So isn't it true that none of the detectives ever said that you killed Nut in any of these interviews from January to June of 2015?
Shit, I don't know.
But isn't it true that that's what you told the police, that everyone is putting your name in it?
I don't know. I don't told the police so much. I don't know. I don't recall what I just said. I just know I was trying to get myself out of it.
And isn't it true that the police allowed you to tell them what happened the night of Nut's murder?
Yeah, you see what they played on me. They sat right there laughing, ha ha ha, whatever. And just why I know they playing on me, but I ain't finna tell them myself. So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna keep spinning them until what? They let me walk out. Every time they let me walk out, I was laughing walking out.
And is the lyric from the song that you were concerned with, that Thug says Little Wood will pull up and pop at your noggin?
What you mean?
Is that the verse that you didn't like?
I didn't like the fact that the police tried to make it seem like that song was made to say that I pull up and did this to this man.
Correct. What I'm asking you though is that the verse you did not like?
That's the song I didn't like.
Okay. Is that the specific verse in the song?
I didn't like the timing of the song. I didn't care about him rapping about me popping at people nuggets because it wasn't true. But when he put the song out, or when they put the song out, it was an investigation on me, and y'all kept harassing me, and that's why I didn't like.
Okay. At this time, what investigation was on you regarding this song?
I don't recall.
Because isn't it true that there was no open investigation regarding any of the shootings at this time regarding you?
How am I supposed to know?
When you spoke to the police, did you come in the first time to clear your name, the next two times as a victim? When you first went to go speak to the police about what happened in 2015? I'll rephrase, Your Honor. When you first came in January 2015, didn't you come to clear your name?
I don't recall nothing.
Okay. The next two times, both in January 28th and February 20th, you came as a victim, correct?
How am I supposed to know?
And when you came in February 21st, you came because you had violated your probation, correct?
You keep saying I came. They took me.
And then in June, you were arrested because of the gun that was at the Dunbar Center.
That y'all placed on me.
None of those times were you accused of shooting and killing Donovan Thomas, correct?
Y'all charged me in like what? One of them, y'all did put them charges on me.
But I'm asking you, between January and June, when you were talking to the police, there were no charges against you for killing Donovan Thomas.
You said no. I don't recall. I don't know.
Okay. Going back to the night that Donovan Thomas was killed, isn't it true that when Little D got into the car, Little D told you that it was Nard, Shannon, and Yak who killed Nut?
Objection has to answer.
Okay. And that they used, isn't it true that they used the car, the rental car that Thug rented?
I don't know. I don't recall nothing I lied to the police about.
Isn't it true that you told the detectives the car they used was the rental car that Thug had? Isn't it true that they asked you if you knew the make and model of the car?
Today, right now, as I'm right here, the truth is I never seen none of them people who I mentioned the night that's supposed to happen.
Okay.
I told the investigators anything, and they went. Gaither and them went going for the stuff that I was telling them, so I had to try my best to convince them. So guess what? I went had to do. Fuck it, I'm about to put it on these niggas because they closer to me. They'll go for it. I don't just trying to get them out my face.
All right,
They
he's
asked you
officially
where Thug
letting it all out.
from, and didn't you tell
He's
them
letting it
that
all
they
hang
went to the
out.
airport?
So you gotta say a little truth and put it with the bullshit.
Okay. Is it true that he rented the vehicle from the airport?
I don't recall nothing. I'm tired of answering these questions at this point.
Oh boy.
You keep asking me the same thing over and over and over and over.
Right.
Isn't it true that you told the detectives he rented the car from the airport?
I don't tell the police the truth.
Would it surprise you that we actually got the rental car records from the airport, that where Thug rented the vehicle from the airport?
You didn't hear me say I take a little bit of truth and put it with the rest of it to convince them?
Okay. Isn't it true that once D told you that they killed them, you asked why did they do that?
It's true that I ain't stupid as y'all think.
Okay. And he told you he didn't know.
I don't recall.
Isn't it true that's what you told the detectives?
I don't recall.
Isn't it true you asked Demekion, was he with them when the murder happened?
I don't recall.
And his response was, no, he wasn't there.
I don't recall.
Isn't it true that's what you told the detectives?
The truth is, you asked me about lies. I done said it in the past, and I'm sitting right here trying to be truthful. But you keep trying to go into lies that I can't keep up with. I remember.
Isn't it true that Demekion told you that Bentley went and hid all the stuff?
I never get into business that don't have anything to do with me.
Okay. Isn't it true that's what you told the detectives, that D told you that Bentley went and hid the stuff?
I tell the detective that anything to get them off of me.
Isn't it true that Little D told you that they initially rode past the barbershop and that's when they saw Nut?
Hell, I don't know. I don't recall.
Okay. Isn't that what you told the detectives that Little D told you?
I don't recall nothing I done told the investigators.
And isn't it true that Little D told you that when they saw Nut, they switched cars?
I don't recall nothing I don't lie to the investigators about.
And isn't it true that's what you told the detective, that they switched cars?
I don't recall.
Okay. Isn't it true that D told you that they switched cars and Thug got into the Pontiac with a girl?
I don't recall. Okay. Why would I be wanting to know if any of this that took? I don't even want to know because I don't. It's nothing to do with me. So I'm making. I don't recall.
Okay. Isn't it true that's what you told the detective, that Demekion told you that Thug and the girl, they got in a Pontiac?
I don't recall.
And when they clarified who all was in the Pontiac, you said Demekion, Thug, and the girl.
I don't recall.
And isn't it true that you told them that they switched cars at the gas station?
I don't recall.
Okay. Would it surprise you that we have surveillance video from the gas station?
The hell if I know?
Okay. And would it surprise you that it shows the Pontiac and the Great Infinity at the gas station?
Do it show me?
You told me this is what Demikian told you, correct?
Man, you hear me? I don't recall nothing I don't say to the investigators.
Now, isn't it true that you also told him that Doo-Wop was there as well?
Who?
Doo-Wop.
I don't recall nothing I told to the investigators.
And isn't it true that you told the detective that, again, that you FaceTimed Thug that night?
I don't recall nothing I told to the investigators.
On the night of the murder, did you tell Deshaun what Demikian had just told you?
I don't recall.
Isn't it true that you told the detectives that after Demikian told you what happened, you called Deshaun and you told her the truth?
I don't recall.
And you told the detectives that they could call Deshaun down to the police department and talk to her?
I don't recall.
And matter of fact, you told the detectives, you told Deshaun, if anything happens to me, tell the police what I told you.
I don't recall.
Okay. Now, what is the reason that the Thug and Nut have a personal beef?
And you can ask him that.
Isn't it true that you told the detectives in this June interview, Nut and Thug had something personal against each other?
And I told the investigators anything. I'm pretty sure I probably told them a different lie. You can't go off of what I don't say to them people. I don't remember what I said to them.
Isn't it true that Nut and Thug got into a beef before you and Kel got into it?
Yeah, I don't know. Ask him.
Isn't it true that you told the detectives they fell out before B and Kel got into it?
I don't recall. Then I told to the investigators.
And when they asked you, did you know what they got into it over? You said you weren't sure.
I don't recall.
And if you were trying to lie, couldn't you just make up something at that point?
Huh?
If you were trying to lie, as opposed to saying you don't know what their beef was over, couldn't you just have made it up at that point?
Just like, you got to understand, like, the pressure gets so real, like, man, I don't know. Y'all just had me now question me. I don't know what, I don't have a clue what I was saying.
Now, isn't it true in this June interview, you also told them about the fight at Club Crucial that Monday before Nut got killed?
Man, I'm pretty sure in that interview I made all type of things up to say.
Now, in this June interview, would that now be the 5th time that you told them about this fight at Club Crucial?
I don't know. If somebody do something to me, I'm going to remember that because I'm going to be a victim.
Okay, so if you were making stuff up, why did you keep on consistently telling them about this?
I said, if somebody did something to me, I'm going to be a victim because once I be able to do something back to them, I'm going to be justified.
Okay.
Okay.
So you told them about these events leading up to the night.
I told them about events that involve people doing something to me. I don't know what I done told them.
Morning, Miko.
Now, on the Monday night after you got beat up and you ran outside.
You say I got beat up?
By Shokel.
He's trying to
And
bait
you went
him.
outside afterwards, correct?
I don't recall.
Okay. Do you recall telling the police in this same June interview that when you went outside, Thug was pulling on your shirt like there go Bloody J right there?
I don't recall.
Okay. And next thing you know, you heard Shannon Shannon was near you when Thug said there go Bloody J right there.
I don't recall.
Okay. And isn't it true that you then told the police that Shannon and Munsul then jumped on Bloody J?
You keep saying, is it true? I keep telling you, I don't lie to the investigators. So it's true.
I'm asking you, isn't true this is what you told the investigators?
I don't know what I done told them.
Okay, isn't it true that in January you told
Baited
them
him a
that
bit,
some
Jay,
of your
while you were
buddies
gone.
jumped on Bloody J, but you didn't go into
Said, "Oh,
specifics?
Wait, what happened?
remember when she baited him a bit? She's like,
Oh.
"Oh, remember when Shell Kel beat you up?" He's like, "What?" He
Oh
laughed,
boy.
got all puffed up. He's like, "Oh yeah, right, sure, somebody beat me up." She got to him a little bit right there.
Oh boy.
But then he didn't recall.
What you getting all aggressive for?
Isn't it true that you told them in January that your buddies beat up Bloody J?
Did you ask her what you getting all aggressive
more
for?
specificity of who those buddies were that beat up
I
Bloody
didn't
J.
hear you.
I'm sorry.
I didn't hear you.
In June, you now told them with specificity who beat up Bloody J.
I don't recall.
Isn't it true that on the night that you and Shell got into it at the club, when you came outside while they were beating up Bloody J, Yak got stopped by the police that night?
I don't know.
Isn't it true that you told the police that Yak got stopped by police that night?
I don't recall what I done told the police. If I told the police he got stopped that night and he got stopped that night, that's me again trying to put some truth with the rest of it to convince them that I'm being truthful.
And is it true that you told them that night he got pulled over and locked up with a gun?
I don't know. He right there. Ask him.
Is it true that's what you told the police?
I done told the police anything to get them out of me.
Is it true on this same night of Club Crucial that after Yak got pulled over that you saw Thug and Nard get into a car?
I don't recall. Nothing I told to the police.
Okay. I'm asking that what happened that night.
What you mean what happened that night?
On the night of Club Crucial, did you see Thug and Nard get into a car?
No.
Okay. Isn't it true that you told police that you saw Thug and Nard get into a car?
Ain't no telling what I told the police. I'm not going to tell them the truth. I know that.
And when Thug and Nard got into the car, did they pull onto a side street?
Thug behind you, ask him.
I'm asking you.
I don't recall. Nothing I told to the police.
I'm asking you, did that occur?
I don't recall.
Isn't it true that's what you told the police? That
I don't recall.
All right. Isn't it true that you told the police that Thug pulled on a side street?
I don't recall.
Once you pulled on the side street, did you and your brother pull up next to them on that side street?
No.
Okay. Isn't it true that you told the police that you and your brother pulled up beside them on the side street?
I tell the police anything about Thug to get them off of me.
Okay. Now, back in 2015, on this same night in Club Crucial,
I didn't hear your date.
on this same Monday night at Club Crucial, did you see Nard? Did you speak to Nard and Thug while y'all were on the side street?
No.
Okay. Isn't it true that you told him that you spoke to Nard and Thug while y'all were on the side street?
I don't recall. Nothing I told to the police, but I know it is a long way from the truth.
Okay. And that either Nard or Thug said that they were waiting for Bloody J.
Who is that?
Who's Bloody J?
Yeah. I mean, I don't recall nothing I said to the police.
Isn't it true that you said that you heard a gun cocked back from inside their vehicle?
Told you, I'm going to tell the police anything, get them out for me. I'm not about to tell them what I done done.
Okay. And that the person that you heard with the gun was Nard?
Just a lie. I don't recall.
Okay. Did you hear Nard with a gun?
Huh?
Did you see Nard with a gun in the car?
I didn't see Nud that night.
Okay. So you do know who Nard is?
No. That's what I'm telling you. I didn't see Nud that night. You keep asking me about Nud. I don't...
How then can you say you didn't see Nard that night if you don't know who Nard is?
Because it's nothing just... No, hold on. You got me talking fast because you frustrating me again.
Uh-oh.
I don't know Nard personally, but I know who Nard is. I didn't see Nard in the car with no gun. Like I said, they jumped on me. I had a knot, and I was mad, and I was going to get my get back. I did not leave with I left by myself with the people that was in the car with me. And no, you do not need to know who was in the car with me.
Was your brother one of the people in the car with you?
No, my brother's, I don't know where he was.
Why'd you tell the detective that your brother was in the car with
Because
you?
I went to tell them what I was on.
Did you also, in this same June interview, also tell Detective Gaither and Dennis again about meeting up with Kel at the Cascade skating ring?
I don't recall no lies I told to the investigators that I don't told them.
Would this now be again at least the third time that you told detectives about this Cascade skating ring incident with you and Kel?
I don't recall.
Again, did you also in this same interview tell the detectives about the gambling house shooting?
Man, listen, I said that tell the detective a whole bunch of bullshit and let them figure it out, let them go run, chase their tail. I don't remember nothing I said to them. They sat right there and listened to all the stories I had to tell, and I'm telling them, I'll say whatever to let me out of jail. They go for it or they don't. And guess what? They sat right there, let me talk, and make up all this stuff about these people, and you know, that just was it. I don't recall nothing I said specific, but I know that I think I said that if I did in one of the interrogation, I'd say anything if y'all let me go. I'd do anything if y'all let me go. That's my motive.
Isn't it true regarding the gambling house shooting? You gave a little more detail during this interview.
I'm gonna give details if I'm a victim.
Isn't it true that you told them, you know, I kept closing my eyes, but they were shooting behind us and the wall was blocking us. They blocking off the van. It hit through the car, every car in the parking lot. After that, everyone happened to get up. There was kids. There were 4 little boys. They seen Thug and wanted to ride. The little kids, we were looking in the bushes, making sure no one was lying in the bushes. They called the police and stuff. Everyone was wondering where Thug had went, but Thug had already left by the time the police came.
See, even you fell for it. See, you take a little bit of truth that I tell and put it with all the bullshit that I said. And you're highlighting like you said, the details of it. That really took place, but you're trying to put that with all the fairy tales that I made up.
You're right over there,
The actual shooting at the gambling house?
The shooting, I don't know. I didn't never see somebody shooting at us. But if the police question me, I'm trying to convince them that I know what I'm talking about. So it's easy to say, shell kill. It's easy to put people's name with crime that, because if he did it, why y'all don't lock him up? If I say I seen him do it, why y'all don't lock him up and charge you for it? So I don't know what or who did what. I just know that I'm trying to convince that these police that I know what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm so sorry. She's frustrating me. You ready? Okay, you listen. All right, I'm trying to convince the police that I know what I'm talking about. And the only way I can do that is telling them something that I know that they know. They know that this gambling house got shot up. So if I tell them this gambling house got shot up and these people did it, they'll go for all the other bullshit that I'm trying to cover up. You feel me? Okay.
You good? You good?
She said, yeah.
All right. Now, earlier I asked you the studio that you go to. Do you recall telling the detectives that the studio that you go to is the one on Northside Drive? It's Metropolitan in the Lofts. Do you recall that being the studio that you would go to?
I don't think I ever been to the studio on Metropolitan. I don't recall going to the studio on Metropolitan.
Back in June of 2015, did you believe that Thug turned everyone against you?
Huh?
Back in June of 2015, did you believe that Thug had turned everyone against you?
That's why I would tell the police anything to get them off me. If y'all watch me like y'all was, y'all would see that nothing ain't changed but the lies I told the police.
So my question is, in June of 2015, did you believe Thug was trying to get everyone to turn against you?
What do you need to do that for?
Isn't it true that you told the detectives that Thug turned everyone against me?
It's true that I tell the investigators anything that they want to hear. They want to hear about Thug. So I'm about to sit right here and gas them up. I'm about to sit right here and say he killed 19 people, all type of stuff. I'm about to sit right here and make him look like the worst person on the earth so that they can believe and let me go.
And at no point in any of these interviews did you ever tell the police that Thug killed Nut, did you?
Shit, did I?
At any point, did you ever tell any police, if you wanted to make him look so bad, at any point, did you ever tell the police that Thug killed Nut?
Shit, I don't know. I think I don't recall. I can't say what I told him. I can't remember because you're trying to trap me up. I can't remember if I told them that he did it. I don't.
Isn't it true?
I know I was gonna get it off of me.
Okay. Isn't it true that what you told the detectives, which is what Demekion told you, was that it was Shannon, Nard, Yak, and Doo-Wop?
I don't recall what I told.
Sustain.
Okay. Isn't it true that you only told the detectives what D told you?
I don't recall what I told them. I thought that D was gonna back up my story, so I was trying to throw the blame on D to get it off of me.
Okay. And isn't it true that D only told you that the people who shot the shot were Nard, Shannon, Yak, and Doo-Wop?
Objection has to answer.
Overruled.
What's going on?
I'll repeat the question. Isn't it true that D only told you that it was Nard, Shannon, Yak, and Doo-Wop?
Like I told you in that back room back there, D never told me none of that. I made it up.
All right.
I don't recall.
We need to take a quick break.
Okay.
I feel like a juror is having an issue or something.
What's a quick break?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe 10 minutes.
You said 10 minutes? Can I go out?
Yeah, but be back in 10 minutes, okay?
I'll be right there.
All right.
Well, as I kind of predicted, he was getting frustrated and started answering some questions.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
not that it's helping the state's case.
Sure, I don't know why the defense isn't, like, one of the 10 defense attorneys isn't objecting constantly to ask them answered. I mean, she's literally asking the same shit over and over and over and
Hopefully
over
it won't
again.
take very long.
Did she just say a nosebleed?
Sorry, we had a juror with a nosebleed. So
there it is.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Good call, J-Bo.
Hopefully it won't take very
Got
long.
your finger on the pulse of the jurors, my friend.
We'll break until I get word that they're good to go again.
It's like that testimony just made my nose explode, so I couldn't continue on. It's like the constant barrage of repetitive questions. So, like, somebody had just asked why. I mean, the point of, again, I'll restate this. The state, she's getting in every single message that was texted. She's getting in every statement that he gave to the police, because it's essentially she's able to testify because he's a hostile witness and she's able to cross-examine. I saw somebody had asked again. So for her, like, she doesn't need to be impatient. She doesn't give a shit what he's saying. Like there's no reason for her to get frustrated with him because she's doing exactly what she wants to do, which is get out the state's narrative. And, you know, him saying, I don't recall, or I don't remember, or I made shit up. She doesn't care because she's getting in all of the statements that were made regarding all of these different events. And so the jury's going to hear it. Now, whether or not the jury's going to be able to keep track of all this shit is a entirely different point. I don't know. You know, it's like it's so much, and she keeps asking about the same two events, basically. You know, the shooting up of the gambling house, the shooting up of the other spot, the club. You know, it's like the fight at the club. It's like the same two events. I mean, the one thing that I just keep not hearing is, like, where is Thug in all this? Like, is he the kingpin? You know, is he the guy that, you know, is giving orders? Like, where's the proof of that? Like, where's the statement that he said to the police, oh, well, Thug told me to do this. or Thug gave the orders on this thing to happen. Like where's that evidence? For RICO, for them to be able to show that this is some kind of organized, criminal outfit, they've got to be able to prove that, and they're just not doing it through him. Even though she's getting all these statements out. I mean, like I said, if you're the jurors, you're going to be like, well, what he says makes sense. It's like I was saying yesterday. It's like anybody that lives in that community and understands, gang culture at all. Like if I'm the defense, I fully anticipate that they'll be putting on some experts regarding gang culture, because that thing that he was talking about with, when she said, "Oh, isn't YSL made up of both Bloods and Crips?" Like that doesn't happen. It's not how gangs work. I mean, you can get killed for wearing red or blue, like it just depending, but you're certainly not going to, be, it's blood in, blood out, and that's facts, and they take that shit super seriously. You don't just go, "Oh, I'm joining YSL's gang," and like we're bringing all the gangs together. We're the gang that cares. YSL, come, we'll take all the other bangers from all the other gangs. It just doesn't work like that. So eventually, when the day does come somewhere down the road that the defense starts putting their cases in chief on. Which, God, like the thought of this being done by February seems impossible to me.
No way.
Impossible. Like, I don't know who else the state has, but I don't know. I just, like, I can't see. Like, if you're the defense, I don't even know if I'm crossing him.
Really?
Like, very briefly, did Doug ever give you any directions? No. Did he ever tell you to do anything? No. Did he ever tell you to kill anybody? No. Were you dealing drugs on his behalf? No. Did you, just like 15, 20 questions? Certainly not going to go on for days with him. You know what I mean?
Right. So I just want I just want to confirm what you just said 1,000 times. Everything you said about my client at that time was a lie. Just to confirm. Just want to confirm with you. Every single thing you said was a lie to get the heat off of you and on my client. I just want to confirm that what you said 1.5 times.
Right.
On the.
I mean, that's it. Like you could probably get away with just that question, because if you're the defense, the more you ask, the more doors you could potentially open for the state on redirect. So, you just need to, and I just don't know if he's hurting anybody in terms of YSL. Like I just, either the jury's going to take him for what he is. And that's either they're going to find that he's partially credible. They're either going to find that he's completely full of shit, but full of shit to what end for the state? I mean, it's like, this is a trial wherein Woody's not the defendant, and she's trying to get him to make admissions about things that he's done without making that nexus with Thug. Like, so if he makes admissions that he's done things, where is that connective tissue with Thug? Where do those two things meet? What evidence do you have of that? And short of that, I don't know where this case is going. I really don't.
I don't know how they're going to get a linear, this jury should know nothing about this case, right? And now they're getting Moontunk and all these different names. How did they, you're telling me this state somehow at the end is going to bring this all together to somehow bring a linear path to this jury where they could oh, so since that happened, this happened because of Young Thug, and it just seems impossible for them
to get
that.
There's no way. Yeah. They're like, I mean, she simply has gone through to craft her cross-examination, which is what it really is that, she went through all the text messages and she's trying to lay out this narrative that, and if you're to believe Woody, you know, like this is a narrative that he sold law enforcement. So essentially, they're moving on a case that's made of lies, you know, by a guy who was trying to avoid being incarcerated. You know, to me, it's plausible, but I'm a defense attorney. Like I know people lie their asses off all the time to the cops. Like people that think that people are going in and being truthful with the police, and especially when you know the game. Like when you know the game, when you're in the game, you just you know how to deal with the cops. He's acting the exact same way in a police investigation as he is on that stand right there. You know, he's not like, you know, normal people that don't have police interactions in their life constantly. You know, you get pulled over by the cops for a speeding ticket, you're freaking out. You know what I mean? That ain't him. That's not his shit.
He's finessing, as he calls it. He finesses.
Yeah, you know, and he's a smart kid. You know, like he knows how to play the game. He's street smart as hell. So, you know, if he can put nuggets of truth in there, like, because he's explained it many times, there's got to be some elements that track in order for the heat to be completely taken off of him. So he'll talk about events that actually did occur, you know, but he'll change the characters. He'll change the cast of characters who were involved. You know what I mean? So like he throws heat on people that they're not going to be able to substantiate it through the evidence. And, you know, then he walks, but it takes the heat off of him, you know, aside from the time when he went in for 4 years. Dizzy said it was for felon in possession of a weapon, namely a gun. So, I mean, they picked him up on that, but in terms of all the other shit, they just can't get him, you know, and it's, which is the case a lot of times, you know, with gang shootings. It's like, it's tough, you know, because I mean that code that they don't snitch on one another, even if it's like gangs that are in a gang war, they don't snitch on one another, you know, and they really don't. They just they you know, they kind of keep it to, you know, it's that code where they don't snitch, they don't give up names, because if you snitch once, then you're dead. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, if anybody catches word that you're a snitch, no matter who you're snitching on, you're a snitch. A snitch is a snitch is a snitch. So, you know, it's just, it's a tough case, man. It's like, you could see, like, as great as it is to watch Woody, I mean, the concept of watching this for 3 more days, shoo,
yeah.
You know,
I was thinking
it's basically just her, you know, kind of just like getting all these statements out into the jurors' ears. You know, I mean, things that lawyers say aren't evidence, but, you know, she's getting what she wants the jury to hear out there. And, you know, they're just hoping that it's going to have some kind of effect. So I don't know, man.
By the way, I texted you that link, and I feel like about Tellus, that live updates, which was great yesterday, but it seems like they stopped updating it, because I was trying to see if there were any updates on that link. It was this great website link, and now they stopped updating it, so I'm not even sure what if they have any jurors or what their deal is, but they stopped updating it as of yesterday. Thanks for being here, everybody. If you haven't hit that like, please hit it. Yesterday, they took a lunch break at 12:30, but that was just because the juror had a Zoom call, so I don't know if they go to 1 normally. The court hasn't started.
What time
so
did they go? So, yeah, we were.
That makes
what time
sense.
did we come back? Your time, 1:30. We came back 1:25.
Yeah, 1:25 my time.
So yeah, it's 11:40. Yeah, she'll probably go till 12:30, something like that. If yesterday was an indication,
this juror can get their nosebleed in check here.
Yeah.
How about when little Woody made sure to take care of the court reporter? That was a little sweet moment where he's like, "I'm sorry," and then he had a slow it down.
He's sweet. He's a sweet guy.
All right, court says, so that makes sense why they didn't There's no updates. They haven't even started yet because it's in Las Vegas.
Yeah, it looks like it just started. Like they said, Dizzy said it was starting 10:30 my time, so that's 8:30 their time. So they probably wouldn't start. Like, they'll take a half an hour to get shit settled, go through whatever house cleaning issues they've got to go through, and then they'll bring the jurors in, or maybe they start right away. So it says, I'm trying to see, like the update I didn't see was how many jurors they impaneled.
I didn't see that either. I don't know if they have any.
Right. Because it is a high profile case in terms of that area. The guy was a public official, so it's gotten a lot of publicity out there. Day one of jury, we know at least 32 potential jurors from today's panel will return for questioning tomorrow. So it sounds like what they're doing is they're doing like a process of elimination type thing from a larger pool as opposed to like smaller panels. Yeah, it's going to be, it'll be a lengthy process. Like if they don't get a jury impaneled until like 3 or 4, she'll probably judge will kick it until the following day. Yeah. Great Dane. We were wondering if they end up getting it impaneled today, like mid-afternoon, if they would just kick it until tomorrow for openings.
That was actually
one of the. Hear the defense is opening.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, can't wait to hear the him getting framed. That's going to be.
Oh my god! I mean, look, cops plant evidence. That's factual, but like the amount of this evidence,
it's a lot.
And like they're cutting up sun hats and they're cutting up Nikes and they're putting people's DNA under. Like how they got his DNA to put under his fingernails. Yeah, I don't know. It's a guy always wonder in cases like that, like that would be a case where I'd be sitting with the client and I'd be like, well, we got some pretty powerful evidence, man. It's like, and then Tellis is an attorney. So, I mean, he's like, I don't know what type of law he practiced, but he's got to be, somewhat convincing his lawyer that this thing has some kind of traction in terms of a defense. Like I don't.
It's not death penalty, right? I probably would have taken a while.
I don't think so. But I'm not sure if Nevada even has the DP.
We probably would know that by now if it was. Yeah. Great question. Why would they? Good question, PB and Shelly. Why would they? Spiteful Pelicans has probate law, they believe.
Oh, that he was probate guy? Oh.
Dizzy says no DP. Yeah, I figured probably would have known that by now. That was actually one of the questions Josh asked me on the sidebar if I was surprised that they didn't change the venue. And that was surprising to me, being how many people know about that case, know about the paper and the journalist. But they did it.
It seems to be kind of a trend, to be honest with you. I mean, like a lot of cases, like big cases where they didn't see, I mean, starting with Murdoch, I mean, like that shocked me. Like, I understand the concept that they thought that they'd get like a Murdoch lover on the jury. Like one of them has to like Murdoch has to have done something good for one of these people. So we're going to take the shot that we'll get one of them. So, I mean, that's a calculated risk, but like Reed, same thing. Like they didn't move it. They didn't import a jury because like now you don't really like the trend is not to move the trial to a different county, but to import a jury from a different county and then sequester them in a hotel, like, which is what they're doing in Allen, like that county that they're in the Richard Allen case, they're pulling them from Allen County, which is about 100 miles away from Carroll County, but it's the same as moving. It's just less expensive for the state, like, because people sometimes don't understand that, like, when it's a change of venue, like nothing changes, like the entire court staff, like that judge's clerk, all the lawyers, all the evidence, all the same. It's all the same characters that go, but I don't know. Great Dane mom says she tweets update and will do a lunch live every day. Who? Is it somebody that's giving updates?
Updates on what? On
I don't know if it was Tell Us. Let's see. I'm going through to see what Great Dane was saying.
Me too. If you guys are coming in late, just they're a break right now because the juror has a nosebleed. Oh, it's hidden true crime. Oh, are they at Tell Us? That's got to be Tell Us, right? Because they're out there. They're not. That wouldn't be. Yep. All right. So very cool.
What?
Hidden True Crime is the person that is, I think, doing the update. You're saying, don't you know them or no?
Yeah. Oh, did they go down there for that? They're actually up in they're up in Utah.
Right, because they would go to Daybell, right?
Vallow. Yeah, Vallow, Daybell. What else did she go to? She drove for another one. One that we covered. Can't remember one of those ones out there. What the hell? What's another one that we covered that was out there? It seems like there's all kinds of shit in Idaho and Utah.
Ruby Frankie, babe says Ruby Frankie. Maybe
she was. What? Huh?
Oh, Baldwin. That's right.
Baldwin. That was the one. They drove down to New Mexico. She was there for Baldwin.
By the way, when does Baldwin's show come out? If they were filming during that time, that's going to be something. They live in Vegas. Very cool. Thank you. Great Dane mom.
Oh, they do live in Vegas? Oh. That I did not know. I mean, who would ever willfully move to Vegas?
So hot.
I can't.
So
I
hot.
honestly cannot imagine a city that I'd less want to live in than Vegas. I just there's no appeal to me there. It's the desert, like the casinos. It's like Vegas is like hell on earth a little bit for me. I don't know. It's never been my jam.
Yeah, Chris Duet just moved there.
He did. Yeah, I mean, I've been there many times. Duet just moved there?
Yeah, he did.
From where? Where was Chris living?
Chris was in Florida.
Oh, well, that's like a lateral move.
Well,
I would never move to Florida either. It's just too humid. I just get that heat, man. It's like I like Arizona, but my God. By April, it's 110. But it's a dry heat, Jay. It's a dry heat.
I die in that. There's no way I could handle that.
I mean, you have to be in air conditioning constantly.
And never go out. I couldn't go out.
Yeah, I mean, look, if Spit was saying that she has a friend that lives there, she works as a model at conventions. Yeah, if you're in the service industry, then that's the spot. If you work in either hotels or any kind of service industry gig, that is obviously a place. One of my best friends was a dealer at he was a craps dealer at Trump or at Caesars in Vegas. He was like the youngest stick man on a craps table, because they're like a special breed.
What's a stick man?
It's the dude who has the stick on. You ever
pulls it down?
Yeah, gets the dice, makes sure everything's right on the table. Which there's a lot of action on a craps table. It's a very intimidating game if you don't know how to play it. That's Allie and I. That's our favorite gambling game.
Really, craps. Interesting. Yeah. I've never played it.
Poker or craps. Two very different games, but yeah, I can't do blackjack in Vegas. I just get infuriated. It's like the way that they pull 21s. It seems so fixed to me. I just can't, like, the house just always like, and I always follow the rules. Like, I always follow, like, the rules that you have to follow for.
Dude.
Like, I've had like one night where I have like, where I was just hot on craps. I was like hitting and running. I'd play a table for like an hour. It was like one of those nights where I gambled until like 6 a.m. I was actually out there with my father. We always form a corporation. We put in like a couple $100 a piece, and then, like, that's the corporation. So he'll gamble with it sometimes. I'll gamble with it. But so my dad went to bed probably at like midnight, and like I continued to gamble the whole night. I think I won like 12 grand.
Holy shit.
Like, I'm super conservative betting, like, because I started with like $300 or $400. I can't remember what we bought in. So, like, if I would have been betting heavy, like, that was one of those nights where I followed the rules and I was just hot. I just got cards. It was just a lucky night. And and I was like, my God, I was like, do I stiff my dad? I'm like, he slept. He slept the whole time. I'm like, am I giving him $6 grand?
But it was a corporation. How could you?
It was a corporation. Of course, I split the money with my father. But
my gambling.
I was salty. I'm like, while you slept, I was working all night.
My experience gambling is, in my 20s, I would go to Atlantic City like a couple times, and I hated it because I kind of tried to learn the rules, and I wasn't good at blackjack. And I wouldn't go to the big tables because I was not betting a lot of money. And these fucking old ladies in AC would be giving me shit because I would do the wrong thing and it would fuck up their end. And then I would say things. I'd be like, what do you do? I'm on like the basic table here. I'm not the big rollers. You can't be fucking mad at me if I'm on like the big. So like I would get in it and my friends would get mad at me. And so yeah, I didn't do. I
always
didn't,
double down. Double down. I always double down on 11.
Like whatever I would do, it would fuck up like the other person's hand. So I did like 3-card poker, but I know that the odds are not great for that. But then I wouldn't fuck up everyone else's shit. As I did in blackjack. These old ladies would get mad at me, and I'm like,
they get a little shitty.
They were so mad.
They do. Like, if they're playing and you're hitting when you shouldn't hit,
yes,
they'll be like, "Oh, thanks, you took my fucking card, jerk off." Yeah. Like, you shouldn't have hit there, right? Yeah.
They were so mad at me.
Yeah.
So I didn't gamble much after that. That was my experience gambling. It's intimidating. I would get up there and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna fuck this up for everyone." It doesn't matter if I fuck it up for myself, but I want to fuck it up for everyone else.
Well, that's like if you go into a poker room, like at like an established poker room in either AC or Vegas. I mean, they're looking for dudes like you. Like, you're the fresh fish.
I'm the mark.
And they it's like. And it is intimidating, because like I'm a pretty decent poker player, but like going in there, and if you're in Vegas, like, you'll see the dudes that you see on like the World Poker Tour shit. Like, you'll see those dudes playing in the rooms, like the guys who like actually make a living playing poker. And if you watch enough, you'll know who like the players are. But you'll get guys. I mean, that's what dudes do for a job. They'll go out. If they'll play 6, 7, 8 hours, guys who are just not like, winning bracelets at the World Series of Poker, but just like grinders, go out there, they make $400 or $500 a day, like a job,
Right.
And it's like,
what do you play? Texas Hold'em?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Typically. Yeah. Hold'em. Yeah. My buddy that I was talking about, that he's a huge card player. The guy that was he's into roofs now. He's a roofing guy. He went from being a music promoter, putting on like, he's a New Orleans guy, and he went from promoting like amazing shows down in New Orleans, like during Jazz Fest. He put all kinds of like world-class musicians together for these amazing like funk shows, and he was just getting burnt on it. He did it for like 50. You can't make any money in that business. It's really like a love of the game type shit, that you love the music and kind of have all those connections in the music world. But then he like moved out to Iowa because like in the Quad Cities, there's like, it's like nowhere in the United States gets more hail damage than like the Quad Cities. I don't know what it is about that area. So like tons of roofers go out there, and this guy had never done like a day's hard labor in his life. Had no idea, never been on a roof, knew nothing about it. But he's a salesman, so he can sell, and he ended up like getting like 2 huge commercial gigs, like one in Houston. I'm like, what are you doing?
And
Like,
he never did it before?
Like, you haven't even, no. But he's smart enough to hire crews that know what they're doing, and but like figuring it all out is, and then when you get insurance, I kept telling him, I'm like, man, when you get an insurance company that's not going to pay the claim, bro, like, and you've got guys that are wanting to get paid on a big job, and then you've got the insurance company that's just going to litigate it all the way to the end, like your money's on hold for years. I'm like, dude, there's a lot of angles to this shit. But
is that also the stick man?
Yeah, he was the same dude.
This guy he does it all.
Yeah, he does. He's like the most interesting man in the world. He's a dear friend of mine. Yeah, like this is actually this is his old company, Fireworks. Like this is that hat that I'm wearing. It was it's FIYAWERX, Fireworks. It's a New Orleans thing. Oh yeah, Chicago. So Pequods. No, Pequods is like if you were to Yelp Pequods, which I don't know if you can trust Yelp anymore. I think there's so many like fake reviews
bots
in there that you can't really trust it. But Pequods is like the best pizza in the country according to Yelp. Now I just know it personally. They're famous for their deep dish, but I think they have the best thin crust. So when you go there, get the thin crust. If you're going to get deep dish, you go to Uno's, Pizzeria and Uno's. Now, there's a chain of Uno's pizzerias that's all over the country. That shit sucks. It's like when I moved out to Philly with Allie, and like we were driving through kind of like a rural, I don't know if we were coming back from like Hershey Park or some shit. And I'm like, oh my God, there's a Uno's pizza. Got all excited. I'm like, oh, it's like, this pizza's to die for. So you put it at an order in an hour ahead of time. You come out, pan's like this thick. It's like it's this buttery, flaky, delicious crust, and like this is that kind of like mozzarella cheese where like if you take too big of a bite, you're choking on it type shit. It's funny. Like Scout does that with mozzarella. I don't know if it's genetic, but I remember when I was young and I would go in there, I'd always what's up? Wait, I can't cook right now. How low? Is my dad gone?
Yeah.
Oh, he left for Oak Park? Oh.
Lowest of low. Is that all right?
Just turn it off.
You gotta go?
I don't want to forget about it. No, Allie she was making breakfast, but she was cooking the chorizo. I was afraid to have her leave it on though. Okay. Just put it almost on like put it on like simmer. Like okay, yeah, it'll be fine.
You can go take care of it. Seems like
I mean, like she just let So yeah, Pequods is amazing, and then Uno's like so. But you do order it ahead of time, and they're like Jay. You would hate Uno's because they put like all of their sauce is really like this stewed tomato thing that is so fucking delicious. Like I would order extra bowls of the stewed tomatoes on the side.
Why would I hate it though? It's tomatoes. I like tomato sauce.
All right. Well, I don't know, man. Like there's something about it that I think that you would find offensive. I'm not sure what thing it is about it, but you'd find something to pick on. But like as far as deep dish goes, it's like, cause there's Uno's and Due's are about a block apart. And so when I found this one in Pennsylvania, we go in and I order pizza and it looks, I'm like, it kind of looks different. And then they bring the pizza out and it's not in the big, like black, heavy duty, like pan. And I'm like, and I take a bite. I'm like, oh my God, this tastes like shit. I'm like, this is like fucking Pizza Hut bullshit. I'm like, I literally go up to the manager. I'm like, what is the deal, man? I'm like, is this affiliated with like Pizzeria and Uno in Chicago? He's like, yeah, they own it. I'm like, well, this this pizza, no offense, is horrible. I'm like, this is like, he's like, yeah, he's like, it's a completely different recipe for the chains. I'm like, wow. I'm like, you should really let people know that before they order at least Chicagoans. I'm like, this is offensive. This pizza is offensive. I was like, I almost feel like I shouldn't pay for it. I feel like I was hoodwinked. Yeah, so like it's very different. If you've eaten at a Pizzeria Uno's chain, Pizzerina Uno or Due down in the city is a completely different ballgame. And like I saw, there's we've got Giordano's is good, we've got Lou Malnati's is good, but Uno's is the best. Uno's is definitely the best. Oh, Hypnotizes Lobsters, you're making me want Uno so bad. Haven't had it in 20 plus years. It's still great. Hypnotizes it is. Like when Allie and I started dating, like, and Uno's is like a really shitty little, like, teeny little spot that they really cram a ton of people in there, and like, and everybody kind of, the thing is everybody carves into the tables and like the walls. So when Allie and I were first dating, like I took her to Uno's. And I carved our initials into the table. And then we went like 15 years later, and I remembered which table it was. I'm like, oh, let's go eat at our table. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, don't you remember we carved our initials in this table? And so that was there. So that was sweet.
And it was still there. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was still there. Yeah, the original Uno's, Miyabito. Like there's Uno's and Dues. Oh, Laura Blake knows. We just drove by.
Now on lunch. What? Thank you, Kaylee, for tagging me in this.
They just decided to take a lunch?
Thanks for letting us. Thank you so much, Kaylee, for tagging me and letting me know that. Kathy Russo. All right, so we're on break for an hour.
All right.
Go get your
perfectly.
chorizo.
I guess I'll save all my pizza stories. That probably made everybody hungry. Yeah. So, but before we go, Chicago Pizza Oven Grinder. It's like a pizza pot pie. They're delicious. It's so good. It comes in this little kind of like kind of looks like what you get like baked French onion soup, except like a little bigger. And it's like a pizza pot pie. It's like the crust is all kind of formed, and they have it, over the top, and then you dip in, and it's got all the cheeses and whatever.
I think I'd like that. I'd give that a whirl.
Oh, dude, like you would love Pizza Grinder.
Oh, okay.
That place is fire. Yeah. Now the Uno's, I don't know. When I drag your ass to Chicago, I'm going to take you on the
I will definitely try it. If you missed I was trying things like crazy. I tried things. I just won't eat them again.
That's all I can ask. That is fair. Like, as long as you're willing to try something and then you decide you don't like it, that's fair. Like to look at something and say, no, it's like, that's like Scarlett. I'm like, you have to try everything. Like, if you don't like it, you don't like it, but
I agree.
You've got to, like, plus your flavor profile, your taste buds change as you grow older. Like, I fucking hated Brussels sprouts when I was a kid. Granted, they were like, my dad was making like bird's eye frozen, like bitter balls of hell, like the froze, like just completely frozen box, freezer burned little balls that he'd boil. I'm like, these are the most disgusting thing this side of liver and onions. And then now, like Brussels sprouts are like the most like they've upped the Brussels sprout game to where they're delicious. So yeah, that's all right. So you gonna start a new stream?
Yeah, we'll be back at 1 Eastern, which is in 1 hour. If you want to see if little Woody is on Instagram, his Instagram is Woody, then the letter V like Victor, then Woody, like Woody versus Woody, but just with the V. Woody v Woody. So we'll be back at 1 Eastern, and we'll keep an eye on Telus. We'll keep you updated on that too. Thank you all so much for being here today, and
we love you guys.
We love you guys.
See you on the other side. See you. As Chuck Willery says, see you in 2 and 2.
See you guys.
Ciao.
Thank you for joining us, J-Bo Nation. Please give all of yourselves an ovation. No, it won't be real long until next time. Oh, J-Bo Nation, there's no place we'd rather be. J-Bo Nation is the place to 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 be.